I'm like, man, Rollo Tomassi don't get no hoes, man. Who, like, come on, man, like, who gave Rollo Tomassi this God tier status? Like, Rollo Tomassi don't get no hoes, man. Like, show me some hoes Rollo Tomassi pulled, you know what I'm saying? Show, like, really, like, y'all acting like he really popping, pushing P, like, y'all acting like he came out the womb saying P.
It's gonna be just like the good old days. How we doing? Welcome to the Rational Male live from Red 2 Studios. That would be my home studio. Kyle has the day off because Kyle is doing Cultivate Crypto, or crypto mindsets. So he needs some time to sleep. I can tell today's going to be a Q&A today. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're going to get back to basics live from Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the Irrational Male.
Thump that bitch!
All in good time. We might have Mr. Rian Stone join us a little later. I invited him. If he shows, he shows. If he doesn't, he doesn't. That's okay. He's a good friend. He'll do what he wants. It's kind of late notice. I apologize. We are going to get back to the basics today. But before we do, we must get on with the business of the business. Would you like to see where I work out? And that individual is Mr. Hidetaka Yamagishi. He is the IFBB Pro Champion of 2023 and also a good close personal friend of mine. Just thought I'd throw that in there because I owe him an endorsement.
Boys are neurologically more fragile than girls. More boys are born in the world and more girls survive. They don't survive because boys don't survive as much because they are incredibly neurologically fragile.
According to who? Actually, they don't survive as much because they have higher testosterone and ergo have lower immunities because testosterone compromises immunity systems. We're also more risk tolerant rather than risk averse. And nature takes more chances with boys than girls. So let's cut the shit, shall we?
Emotionally fragile too. What that means is they're more prone to aggression.
Yes, that's called testosterone, dear.
Behavioral problems, ADHD-like behaviors, which is distractibility. They're more sensitive to stress from a very young age. They are not the same as girls. They don't learn the same way as girls. They need lots of physical expression during the day. If they don't get it and they're forced to sit in circle time, like little girls can sit in circle time, little boys go off the rails and then they're labeled as having attentional issues.
Yeah, and then we medicate them because we treat our boys as if they're defective girls.
And so we are educating little boys today.
She owes Camille Paglia some residuals for this, I'm pretty sure.
Like little girls, which is why they can't keep up. So if you ask me, we should separate little boys and little girls. In terms of the neurological fragility, they need that attachment fear even more than the little girls.
Well, they can keep up. It just depends on the system in which they're expected to keep up.
When it comes to going...
When we move the goalpost for boys, or excuse me, we move the goalpost for boys to be more like girls, they're going to get competitive in that system.
To school, maybe we should separate little boys and little girls when they're little so we can cater to their individual needs.
Oh, but that would go against the blank slate agenda.
And it is different.
Yes, it is different. God, thank you. At least we're finally recognizing that boys and girls are, in fact, different.
Boys are neuro...
Oops, hold on. We got to talk to Hef.
My marriage, virgin, in the sense that I had slept with only one person before my life, a woman that I then married. Right after I was engaged, my wife had an affair. and told me about it just a short time before the wedding. That, in combination with the Puritan background, had a dramatic impact on me. And I am absolutely certain that a part of what lay behind the establishment of Playboy was a throwing off the chains of personal hurt and indignity, and simultaneous with that, a quest for some better way.
Sorry, I turned on echo cancellation. How's it now? Sound good? Are we good? I think it's good. Should be good now.
Married for 17 years and was a stay-at-home mom for 15 of those years. And it was amazing. I loved being a stay-at-home mom. But the thing that I didn't really anticipate was the financial dynamic and how I would be affected by that. So
I didn't get the money that I was expecting.
I assumed that half of everything would be mine if we divorced. And since I was out of the workforce for a really long time, I didn't have things like retirement, or luckily I had built up my credit over time, but I didn't have savings. I didn't have accounts in my own name. And I really was not prepared for when my husband and I split up, sitting there in mediation.
Why did you notice there's never any why they split up?
Hearing this is non-marital. And I was like, but wait, I thought everything was, marital. We'd been married for so long. Right.
Did you love these presumptions?
And we had never discussed this was mine and this was yours, that kind of thing. It was always, in my opinion, it was always ours. And and he actually said that. One time I said to him, well, a lot of times I said to him, I feel like I'm not prepared for retirement. Nothing's in my name. What if something happens to you? What if
something happens to you? I'm going to leave.
Something happens where we split up. I'm not, and he was like, well, if we get divorced, half of it's yours. Well, it wasn't. And he got to keep about $800,000 more than I did.
Oh, so unfair.
Build chivalry. You did. Women, you did. Men got tired of coming over and saying, hey, can I help you? I don't need your help. You think I'm small and I can't do it myself. I can carry my own suitcase. Ugh. They got tired of that. They got tired and they stopped doing the gentlemanly stuff. They don't want to be told they're harassing you by coming over and asking if you need help.
Misogyny.
All right, I apologize up front, but we will come back to this one, I promise you.
I watched almost every single podcast you ever did for about 1.5 years. So much so that I bought into a lot of the things that you said. And for about 2 years, it led me astray and significantly damaged my personal life, including relationships.
How did it lead you astray?
Well, you told me to go sleep with a bunch of women and date multiple women at the same time, which I did. And it significantly damaged my life. And it wasn't until I actually turned around and started listening to Jesus Christ that I was saved.
Amen.
Now I'm...
There's always the cheer. Remember when I touched on, I think, God, when was this? This was back in Easter, I think. It was right around Easter time. When I, you have to remember that the guy who is at the mic here, Brad Lee has no idea who the dude is. He's just looking for some really hot content. This is, by the way, Brad, this is some old content. But the dude at the mic is actually a former associate of Fresh and Fit. Got married to a single mom and is basically trying to, he's going the Ruslan route, let's just say.
Happily married. I have one child now with another one on the way, and I've never felt happier. But I felt...
Congratulations, that's good. That's really...
Also, I really wish Myron would have called him out on this, because I don't know if this was a plant or not. It's possible that they could have just planted this dude in there or maybe he knew what he was getting into, but Myron could have easily just destroyed this guy from the jump, because the guy was involved with Fresh and Fit. On associate level with Myron and Fresh, been on the show several times. I think I might have even seen him on Adam Sosnick before, but the dude, there was a bunch of guys who hit me up right after I covered this clip. And they said that he had married a single mother. That's why he has one kid and one on the way. The one on the way is his. The one he has right now is his wife's baby daddies.
Thank you. And I know you're not against that, but my concern is what you're saying to men leads them astray, because I'm a walking example of it. And I think you're significantly damaging people, and especially you're leading people away from morality. Women are not objects. Women are created in the image of God, and they are valuable.
It's so funny. All you have to do is like throw out Christianese, and like everybody just like cheers for you.
And they should be treated as such. Why should God give you one of his children?
You know what's funny is it would be so easy for me to turn like myself into this sort of demagogue or this cult leader, and I refuse to do so just because of guys like this.
If you don't even know how to treat them. So I think.
Well, again, young men.
Okay, notice how Brad's not going to allow you to listen to the counterpoint that Myron threw out there. He's in that. There's no other side of this thing, and Brad has no earthly idea who he is.
Across the world, if you want to listen to Mr. Myron Gaines and go out and bang a bunch of chicks and run around and treat them like hell, I would say that's not the best advice. It's probably going to end up poorly. You're going to hurt a lot of people. You might even be hurt yourself. You could get diseases. You could get a bad reputation, and reputation's everything. When it boils down to it, man, it's all about relationships. And when you just go out and try to get laid, okay, you're not focusing on the most important thing, and that is building a relationship with this individual. It's not banging them. Once you find one that you truly love and want to become one with, well then, bang her lights out. Till then, I would suggest be stingy with the D.
What was this? Brad does know, right? Brad does know Myron. Of course he does. He had Myron on his show dropping bombs. Yeah, of course, because Brad's gonna go. Brad, is that what his name is? Yeah, I heard that. Joaquin, is his name Joaquin? Yeah, I knew some of you guys were gonna. Hey, what's going on? Hey, Donovan, good to see you. Yeah, assuming that is Donovan. But yeah, I thought I'd throw this. Somebody threw this in my DMs this morning, and I thought, man, I am definitely going to cover this today because I like Brad well enough, and he's a good friend of Mike, so I kind of have to be diplomatic about the whole thing. But he's just not. He's just not. Oh, it is. Hey, Donovan. He's just not knowledgeable enough. So he's going for the cheap hit right here. He's going for the cheap clicks on this one. I'll come back to it. I want to introduce you to my new good friend, Dr. Todd Lee.
You guys say you don't want to be a bodybuilder, but you watch Warhammer 40K videos, you play Warhammer 40K video games, you read Warhammer 40K books. Guess what? The fucking Space Marines are bodybuilders. Whoa. They're 9 feet tall, solid muscle, can bounce bullets off their dead. They're bodybuilders. They don't prance around on stage and pose. They just kill aliens and shit with their bare hands, ripping their fucking heads off and using a chainsaw sword. And you know what they don't use? They don't use fucking Primo, and they don't use Serostem. The Emperor doesn't deal with that shit. The Emperor is the master, and so he gives his Space Marines Master on. He's not a fucking bitch. They save that for the Third Legion, the Emperor's children that worship Slaanesh, the goddess that's got a penis. Those are the Primo princesses, the ones who are into Futanari and shit like that. But the Space Marines, masculine men, they use Master on. They both start with M. It's really easy to remember. Of course, you could always waste your money on Serostem, or you could have enough ammunition to feed a whole battalion by using something more cost efficient like Metatropin or Viking Tropin. Just as good, does the same fucking thing. It just doesn't have the price tag the Serostem does. Oh, and it also, you won't bloat up like a fat tick.
Flawless victory.
Now you know why he's my new favorite dude. I got a story about him. I'll tell you guys later.
One of my exes is in prison right now because he killed somebody, and he's as a self-defense though. But also it's the same guy that cheated on me in my own apartment when I let him to stay with me. Because he got kicked out of his house, and he cheated on me when I went into my countries to see my family. So.
Oh my gosh, this guy seems to have all the dark triad traits.
Yeah, he was the worst of the worst. Trust me. That was the movie guy that will give you a lot of emotions, but probably most of them wasn't the best ones.
So you're gonna get back together with him once he's out of jail?
Oh hell no. No. He can't forget about me. He doesn't have any control over me anymore. He cannot contact me anymore. None of that. And I will never allow that again.
Tell me a bit more about this murder I'm very curious. How did it happen?
Well, it's honestly a really long story, but long story short, he had a beef with another guy from Colorado because he used to talk to a girl from Colorado and he did her dirty. So her boyfriend at that time, he wanted to protect her, he wanted to be the man, and he wanted to stand up and have a fight with my ex, and it ended up with a dead body.
Emotional damage. I think men between the ages of 20 and 30 are not ready, in most cases, for marriage.
Yeah.
I don't think they are. Now, there are exceptions. My parents got married. My mom was 19. My dad was 21. They've been together for 44 years.
Yeah.
Okay. It works in some situations, but to your exception and rule analogy that you used earlier, again, I think that men between the ages of 20 and 30 are usually not ready to be husbands and fathers.
Yes. No, broadly, I think you're right. But isn't it that's a cultural issue? So, look.
No, I would actually, back to your point.
Yeah.
Michael Knowles drinks martinis like a gay dude, a gay man. I'm just saying, I've seen this enough in the wine and spirits industry. He drinks like a gay man.
I think it's a biological thing.
Well, then why did it work for your parents?
Exceptions and rules.
Exceptions and rules. Exceptions and rules.
Like, man, well, sometimes you don't get no hoes, man.
Welcome to my humble abode. I got the lights are hitting today, man. And hey, wait. Multi-camera setup too. And I'm a one-man show today. Thank you for watching today. I got a couple of announcements I got to get to before we jump into it. Jesus, I've already got a ton of super chats. Thank you very much. We'll definitely do a Q&A today. Actually have some like topics and some real stuff, real shit to talk about today. So let's see. Okay, let's get the first one out of the way. First one is Reignite, my group, my Unfuck Your Life group. We will be meeting. We have a meetup coming up on technically it'd be August 12th. But it's if you want to join, you don't have to be a member of Reignite for this group. You can pay for it as a standalone. If you're not a member already, that's fine. I believe our price tag for this one is $9.97 as well. It's going to be on the 13th through the 15th of August, and that is coincides with Swim Week here in Las Vegas. It will be in Las Vegas, Nevada, actually. It culminates, of course, on the 14th, which is Babes in Toyland, and it will be at the Sahara and with the Sahara Casino here. We have ATVs lined up, so we're going to do an ATV adventure. I don't know if that's the 13th or 12th. I'm not really sure. It's one of those. Then we're going to go shoot. We're gone shooting. I don't have any weapons whatsoever. They all were lost in a tragic boating accident. No, I actually do. I'll bringing along my kit with me. I might get my rig with me. So I have that going on. We're going to go. We have a range day already set up for it. We're going to do Top Golf as well on one of those days. We're going to sometime in between the 12th and the 15th. Officially it's the 13th through the 15th, but if you show up on the 12th, we got just some fun stuff to go do. We'll also, of course, have, regular, talks. We'll do Q&As. We will do assessments of where you are in life, that kind of stuff. See if you want to join, Reignite, please do. If you're already a member of Reignite, well, congratulations. But we'll be doing that. Then, of course, we'll be going to Babes in Toyland at the Sahara. I wonder if I can position this a little bit. There we go. And so that's coming up. And if you are interested in that, you can hit up my good friend Joe Marin, or you can just simply go to reignitealpha.com and follow the links there if you want to join, that is. Other than that, you can look up Joe or myself, and I'll be happy to give you the info and everything else for that upcoming weekend. So that is coming very, very soon. I'm going to pump this one more time just to remind you, probably at the 2-hour mark. So just get yourselves ready. If you missed it now, you'll get it later. Let's see. Oh my God. Wait. This is too good. Hold on. Chick from Babes in Toyland. She's a farm girl from the countryside. You got a photo with her? Farm girl. I don't even farm girls. Let's see. There was a black girl that was Ashton Banks. Go look her up. And there was. Are you fucking with me, aren't you? And then there was all my. Why are all the girls that are my friends like porn stars or ex-porn stars? And then there was Christiana Sin, Cinn. I know, go figure. And then there is Masha. She's my Ukrainian girlfriend. You can check her out too. Oh, hey, Brian decided to join us. That's awesome. Brian, let me finish announcements real quick, and then I'll buzz you in. So there is that. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'll just put you in right now. What's up, man? How are you?
Dude, busy. Summer.
Yeah, it is. It is busy.
I miss Vegas already.
Well, come on out, man. Come on out in August. We have Babes in Toyland on the 13th through the 15th. We're gonna go do fun shit. I'll grandfather you in.
So, see what I can do. All right, sorry, I'm cutting you off here. You were doing your
Oh yeah, you promised to speak for an hour, you get a freebie. But anyways, no, and you don't know this, so I figure I'll probably bring you in as well. So the main announcement I wanted to make here is I spent the night in the hospital on Monday of last week. And so as you know, I've been dealing with shingles for the last really 6 weeks. So I'm like, I gotta bite the bullet. I hate going to the emergency. I hate hospital, period. So I've been going to like these urgent cares. I got a script for gabapentin and everything, which seems to help. But like the rash is long gone. The rash was done like 3 weeks ago, right? But the pain keeps up. So I decided I was going to go into the ER and see what I could see. And I got a CAT scan. Right. And the CAT scan came back and showed that I have a fistula. And that's no joke. So what's happening basically, at least they think anyways, because from what they can tell from the CT, now you're going to go look it up. Great. From what they could tell from the CT, part of my colon is pressing up against my bladder. And so that might have the possibility of me going septic as a result of that. So it's no freaking joke. And now I've got to go finally get the colonoscopy I haven't got since I should have got 7 years ago.
Please don't die.
They always tell you I know, right?
We've lost Coast Red Pill. We've lost Kevin Samuels.
We lost Kevin Samuels. We
lost Thor. Yeah, well, I didn't want to mention Thor because I actually like Thor.
Yeah, I know who else. Alan Roger Curry.
McClay.
Yeah,
Mr. Murder Boy.
Yeah, that's probably for the best, actually.
Yeah.
We all know why he's no longer with us. Yeah. No, so I do. You guys already know I do my best to take care of myself. So, but I just want to let everybody know, just so there's no shock and no surprises or anything like that. It's easier for me to just announce it on the show than go one by one and say, "Hey, dude, I'm sorry, I'm in the hospital right now." And as you guys have probably already, if you checked out the videos on the way in, I'm now on first name basis with Dr. Todd Lee, who is the bodybuilder guy who was talking about how Space Marines are actually bodybuilders. They're all on master run. Great. I laugh my ass. I like there's two things I can't do right now because of this pain, and one of them is sneeze and the other one is laugh too hard. And I was like, oh.
Here I was thinking the orcs were the bodybuilders. My mistake.
Yeah, yes, I know. He's like the Warhammer character, or the Warhammer faction that takes Preamble and is the Emperor's children, the Slaneshi Marines. Stop! You're killing me.
Effing guy.
Yeah, but he was funny as hell. He's great too. He actually is a medical doctor who knows his shit when it comes to gear and it comes to hormone optimization and nutrition and other things too. It's not just about gear. He hit me up like it was actually Monday night. I was in the hospital and I'm just like, just glassy eyed on my iPad thinking they thought I needed emergency surgery right then and there. And that, man, the emergency room, I know it's pissed me off. The emergency room was like, "Oh, well, we're gonna have to admit you." I'm like, "Really?" I just came in for a CT scan, And they're like, yeah, well, we think maybe you have a fistula. I'm like, oh my God. And so they thought that I was going to have emergency surgery. And I was like, oh shit. So I was like on the surgery bill for like the following morning. And then the surgery team came in and they go, you don't need emergency surgery. I'm like, what? And so they're like, we can't really tell what exactly is going on from the CT scan. We need you to get a colonoscopy so that we know what we're dealing with, because they're not just going to go open you up and do exploratory surgery based on CT. So, but I feel fine. I don't feel bad. I don't have a fever. I'm not too cold. I'm not too hot. I'm not, I'm still shit. I went to the gym like on Wednesday and Thursday.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Like, what's it supposed to feel like if it's bad?
Lifting. I don't know. If you start going septic, that's when you'll feel sick. You'll get a fever, and the fever won't go away. I presume you'll feel some pain too, but I don't have any. The only pain I feel is like the surface pain from where the shingles were. Everything else feels fine. I'm eating fine. I'm taking a shit fine. I'm doing everything fine. So I don't know.
I was gonna say, it's be horrible. You don't drink, you don't smoke, and then all of a sudden you catch this crazy medical stuff. Here I am.
I know. What the hell?
Eating Zen by the tub, drinking caffeine by the liter. And...
Well, I mean, today's show is still brought to you by Double Mount Coffee. So. It's funny. I thought I'd have you come on with me because I'm in the home studio today, and that's usually where we can talk.
Yeah, talk shop. I haven't done this in forever. There's nobody else to do it with.
I know.
The best one was Carl, and he's gone for 2 years now.
I know. God damn. We should probably start another group. At some point, we're gonna have to at some point. Like,
we're out of suffixes for red.
Yeah.
So red morning, a red evening, a red man group.
No. You're gonna have to name it because I'm out of ideas.
Red pancakes. I don't know. Flagpole. The flagpole power hour.
We'll let the chat decide what the new name of the show should be.
Yeah.
But no, one more thing I gotta address, and because people kept jumping in my DMs. I guess MLD was giving me shit recently, and I'm like, what the fuck did I do? Apparently I'm a piece of shit because I didn't go to Thor's memorial, and I'm like, I didn't know there was a memorial to go to. And you know why I didn't know that? Because Glenn Lawrence is the guy that's organizing all that stuff and has been taking care of Thor for the last, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months. I don't know how long he's been like, sitting around like a ready vulture. But the thing is like, I can't really fault MLD because he's just getting bad information from Glenn. That's all he's doing. That's all Glenn does is just poison people's relationships. Like
in fairness, this doesn't seem like the kind of thing that I would have said publicly anyway. So maybe that's just the Canadian in me, where like some things aren't really brand material. So
yeah, I mean, I don't care one way or the other, but it's just like, I mean, like MLD, like call me up. Like you have my number, MLD. You can talk to me anytime you want to, but apparently I'm a piece of shit. So, but again, I did try to call Thor several times towards the end, and none of my calls went through, and none of my texts were being returned or anything like that. And I can only presume that that's because MLD or not, because Glenn had access to Thor stuff. So I didn't even know there was a memorial. So, I would have gone. I don't even know if Aaron Clary went, because I'm not sure even Aaron knew about it either. So, but either way, I mean, I don't have any bad things to say about MLD. I just don't think he's not in possession of all the facts. So that's all I got to say about that situation.
It was nice of him to go, though. Swell of him.
Good for him.
Like I wasn't as close to him as you guys all were, so I'm a bit of an outsider on this one, and that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it was close with Thor, but like when all that shit went down with Pearl and everything else, it's like, Pearl's she's a vulture as much as anybody else. And I will tell you right now, the last time I saw, somebody sent me some clips of Pearl recently, or I think she was on.
What's she up to now anyway? I haven't heard nothing in like months.
Her brand is has been in a death spiral for the last probably like 8 months right now.
Yeah, well, whose isn't?
Yeah. Well, you do have a point there. No, but I think like she's learning why I cut ties with Glenn now. I'm pretty sure, because from what I was seeing from some of these clips, it's like Glenn's just like being Glenn, and I'm just like, okay, you know, you get what you deserve for dealing with this guy. I think she's probably, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Pearl, as everybody knows.
Wait, when did this happen?
Yes. Yeah. However, Pearl, I'll give you a bit of advice: get the fuck out while you still can. With this respect to Glenn right now, bad news. Bad news. It was a mistake to get involved with him in the first place. So, anyways, I'm done bad mouthing people. They can do whatever. Hey, I'm being nice. I'm giving it. Hey, you want an olive branch? Here's your olive branch, Pearl. Get out. Get out while you still can. Get out while it's still good. You know.
All right, so smack talking phase is over. We're on to the flagpole next, and then I make fun of you for your guitars, and then super chats.
Here, look. That's not.
Oh dear God,
Jackson right there. I don't know if you can see the other stuff I have in here.
No, but you know me. My old guitar was a Flying V, one of the reissues. Oh, yeah. So I always just love the triangular shape. You know, guitar.
I like this. I love this guitar. I bought this guitar when I was commuting from Reno down here, because I had to have something to play while I keep my chops up, right? Because I'm still in of Ascension then, and so I just picked up this guitar for, it was like cheap. It was like $210, $220, something like that.
Oh, was it the garage sale from somebody had it in the barn from his kid kind of thing?
No, it was Guitarathon from Guitar Center is what it was, right? And it's probably one of the best playing instruments I have. But I just got it. I'm just going to swap out one of the pickups. So I'm going to sink a pickup in there that costs more than the guitar. It's kind of like those guys who get like their Honda Acuras, and it's like a $4,000 Acura, and they put $20,000 in upgrades into.
Oh yes, I remember Civic Nation.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, don't give MLD any shit. I don't care. He just doesn't have the facts. That's all. He's coming at it from a position of ignorance. Hey, let's do these real quick. These are pretty good. Lucifer. Wait. Hi, Rollo. I'm 20. Read all your stuff. Want to say thanks. Well, you're welcome. According to you, what's the best way to source girls starting from being an absolute beginner? Not seeking arrangements. Get it. You know what the best way to source girls is to go out and do it live in person in real life. And then understand also that Instagram is the #1 dating app on planet Earth, not Hinge, not Bumble, not Tinder. Don't rely on dating apps. Rely on going out and learning the skills live in real time. That's the best way I can tell you. Here's the best way to source girls. Join MOA. Join Reignite, because we'll take you out there and we'll throw you in with both feet, right? So, but it's getting out and going and doing it live in real time. Learn how to deal with rejection, like hardcore, right? Like live in your face.
Can I add to that too?
Sure.
Those rejections, you're going to get rejections at first. Everybody does. But the best thing about that is those girls that rejected you, they have friends. So that's why you put those rejections as well. He's not for me, but hey, come to the party or whatever. One of my best pivots, well, that's what they used to call it back in the day, was this chick. She was drunk, invited me to her birthday, and then I showed up and she forgot. And she was the best wingman for like 5 years. Plus I got free haircuts, which was great because I was in the military.
I know.
Better than sex.
I have changed my mind. I've changed my mind slightly about like female friends, simply because I've been around Mike Sartain long enough to sort of understand what his perspective is when it comes to like female friends. Right now, can you use a female, quote unquote, female friend as a wing woman? If you have that relationship with that chick in the first place, but you have to treat her as if she's one of the guys, and that's where most guys screw up. And that's like, I think key. It's instrumental to like Mike's sort of theory on like female friends, is most guys will start acting like a woman when it comes like, oh, I've got a female friend. We're platonic. We're just great friends. What happens is they start communicating and they start acting like a female friend, rather than don't treat her any different than you would like any of the guys. Right? What are you gonna do?
I was just thinking it's like the gay bestie zone.
Yeah.
She didn't even do it. You did it to yourself. Oh.
Yeah. Well, but he's not wrong, because like his female friends have been instrumental in hooking him up with like hotter chicks, other girls too, right? And it's not, he doesn't look at a rejection as necessarily like, in fact, he's Mike, he doesn't get rejected anymore. But back in the day when he did, he would look at it as like sort of an opportunity to say, okay, that's fine, we can be friends. But I think the difference is not treating that woman as if she is like, as if you are one of her girls. Remember how I always say, women have boyfriends and girlfriends.
Yeah, and if you're not the one, you're the other.
Then you're her girlfriend. The reason why I said that back in the day is because that's what most guys will do. Is their only frame of reference for friendship is like same-sex friendship, right? And so like when you have a intersexual friendship, it's usually one or the other. Like whoever the dominant personality is going to set the frame for that quote unquote friendship, right? So if the guy wanted to fuck the girl and the guy gets put into the friend zone, he's probably going to act more like one of her girlfriends. And if that's the way it works out, then her hindbrain says, well, he's acting and talking and behaving like one of my girlfriends, therefore I'm going to consider him one of my girlfriends, right? Whereas for Mike will say, you're one of the guys, you want to come out and hang out with one of the, he would just treat her as if his frame of reference is his guy friends, right? And if she wants to be his friend, then she has to come into his frame, which is, if you're going to be my quote unquote platonic friend, I'm going to treat you like I treat all of my male friends, right? Yeah. And so the frame is from a masculine frame rather than from a feminine frame. And if that's the case, then yes, you can make a female friendship, turn it into a wingman, or at least a springboard onto like meeting other girls, like her hot girlfriends, right?
And you're her winger too. I remember I've kicked out guys from the place. Like mine used to live with me too. She's like as a roommate. Yeah, no, just like I need you to help me out with this one.
I'll give you a recent example of that.
Oh yeah.
Here's a hella funny story. I didn't say this on Access Vegas, but we had Crystal Becks on the show last Wednesday. She's been on the first time she was on the show was when I brought my workout partner Alvaro Pena on the show. And Alvaro he can speak English, but he's in no way fluent in English, right? Crystal Becks is fluent in Spanish, and so she just instantly started talking to him in Spanish, right? And I'm like, it's the end of the show. You could have been translating this whole time. But apparently they hooked up, and they have been together ever since that show, right? That they were both on.
Well, look at that.
Yeah, I know, right? Matchmaking.
Rational males saving lives still.
What did you say? Like, what? How do I source girls? Come on the show. We'll get you hooked up. But so, anyways, I'll tell you what's funny. So I haven't been to the gym in a while because I had shingles and I had dealing with all this stuff. But I went into the gym on when was it? On Wednesday, and I went there and I got there about the same time that Alvaro did. And he comes in, as soon as he walks in the door, he must have seen my car in the parking lot because he knew I was there, and he comes straight up to me and he looks at me, he gives me this big old hug and this big ass shit-eating grin, and he goes, your podcast changed my life. I laughed my ass off too, because like he's like they're like a thing now. So
good on them.
Yeah.
Seeing one of your guys in the chat here, same thing. I wanted to bang her, but I didn't. And so I'm like, relax. You kind of have to have her as a sister, a little sister. That's the Mike thing.
Yeah, treat her like a bratty sister. Yeah.
If you still got the urge, then you got to get it out. You got to like quash that before you even start. Otherwise, just don't go there. Just save yourself the trouble.
I find like guys who have sisters like have a different, like especially if it's a younger sister, they have a different kind of outlook when it comes to women. Like I think that's a natural default for them.
Well, yeah, I got 3 sisters, 2 younger, 1 older, and you learn they're not made of porcelain.
Yeah.
That's the biggest one.
Yeah, you
merciless.
You beat up on them, but like you fuck with them, but you still protect them, right? So it's kind of one of those situations. Well, thank you very much. I saw this come in like right before I even started the show. I just met Amber. Jesus Christ! Thanks for the $200, brother. Or whatever that is in US dollars. I just met Amber in a Jeep. You're a Jeep guy. Remember when you were a Jeep guy? Didn't say much as I pulled mine right to hers. Okay, so you guys are Jeep people. Were you mudding? Rust all over. I said, this needs work, although a decent ride. After I got up under it, she was like, can I get your number? I don't talk to many muscular guys these days. We're going out tomorrow for drinks. Well done. Bravo, sir. Bravo. You gave me 200, whatever, AS-13, whatever that. Oh, I guess that's US dollars. That is US dollars.
I thought that was a terrorist gang. Trump called them AS-314.
AS-314? Okay.
Yeah, isn't it? They have to go back too.
They have to go back too. Well, good. Let me know. You know what, dude? AS-314. Let me know how it goes. Keep us all updated on the situation here. I think he does. He sent me another one later here. Oh, here you go. And once again, hello from the plains of Colorado. Okay, that's good. Guys, it's not hard. Women are starving. Lift weights. Know your shit. Women show up. Thanks, Rollo. You're welcome, sir. See, once again, putting women and men together.
I need a term that's the opposite of running you up the flagpole.
I know.
I don't want to say fluffing you because that's not the same.
No.
Something less homoerotic.
You know what kills me is like as I get these, I'll get stuff in my DMs on Instagram. Like I'll show you some stuff on Instagram here. And I'll get emails, I'll get all this stuff, like everybody loving on me and stuff like that, saying, "Oh man, I followed your advice, or your analysis, or I read your book, or whatever else. Either it saved my life, or hey man, I've got a girlfriend. Oh man, Alvaro, I hooked them up with Crystal Becks, right? That kind of stuff, like that happens. It happens. I see it freaking happen, right? I got. I don't want to claim total responsibility for this because it wasn't me. It was on the guy. But there's been at least 2 guys in our Reignite group who've gone from like sort of like reeling from a bad divorce, and they just recently got laid. And so I'm again, what is it? Past successes do not, implicate future successes. Or, I got to give the investment disclaimer there. However, the proof is starting to come in, and I'm glad that it is, because I've been working with some of these guys. I've been working with for over a year for Harold's, but some of these other guys, and they're doing so much better. They're like, I'll tell you what's funny is this guy Harold that I've been working with, he was part of my Patreon group before he was part of the Reignite group. Okay. And he was just fresh out of a really bad divorce. Didn't know, he just wanted me to tell him he was good looking enough to go out and like get back into the sexual marketplace once the divorce was final, right? And he lifts, and he's not in bad shape. He's about a year older than I am, and just his wife used to browbeat him, and he was just like really just kind of like a beat dog. Didn't have very much social skills. He'd been married for a long time. He's getting back into the game, and it's really difficult because it's like he's been like unfrozen from cryogenic freeze 25 years ago, and they thaw him out in 2025, and he doesn't like he's stranger in a strange land, right? And so I've been working with him for 18 months, like maybe 2 years, coming up on 2 years. And it's like, you want to talk about transformation. Holy shit, man. If you stick with it and you work it and you have some level, even just the most measured amount of dedication, you're gonna make improvements. And so
nobody tries. That's the thing. Nobody tries.
Like I was like, he's been to some of the Babes in Toyland events and stuff like that, and he was out in Miami. He was one of the guys that was on the fishing trip with me, right? And again, that's the kind of stuff we do in Reignite. We don't sit there and we don't have a drum circle, and we don't take off our shirts and do, I don't know, Greco-Roman wrestling and oiled up and shit like that and sunning our bung holes or whatever. I mean,
so much shade. You
know what we're talking about. Yeah, we don't just jump in like freezing cold lake water at 5 a.m. in the morning. No, we go and do fun shit, right? And this one of the guys from this group who was actually on the boat with me got after it after the Miami white party back in May. And so the funny part is this, so I'm looking at Harold, and Harold shows up to the white party, and he looks different. Like he's got like a Gucci belt buckle, and he's all in white and everything. He just looked like a shark. And I'm like, holy shit, this dude's outdressing me for this shit. And I'm like,
his shirt has sleeves on it. What the hell?
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, I know. I had sleeves. Like when I go to these events, I have to like sort of like host them with Mike, or I got to look like I'm at least part of the team, right? But But I didn't even recognize him when he showed up, and I was like, holy shit! And like just looking at the amount of progress that he's made is just, I'm all about like seeing these guys. Like you already know me. It's like I don't care so much about accolades and shit like that as I am about like people showing me like what they did with the tools that I gave them, right? With the book, with like the education that they're getting, with the essentials and stuff like that. And when you see it happen like live in real time, and you see these guys like succeeding like right there at the event, I'm like, oh, it's like
it makes up for all the Destiny engagements. I agree.
Absolutely, it does.
I'm not even joking.
When people go, dude, you saved my life, I'm like, how many of these is this blue-haired squirrel getting? And it's like, no, he's not.
Dude, his kid doesn't even talk to him. I'm just saying.
Oh man, I have this one video we got to respond to today. It's not so erudite once again, and she's like going off on this guy. I'll show you.
What's she been up to anyway? I haven't seen her and heard from her in years.
She is one of the biggest hypocrites I can't even believe. Like, especially considering that she was bought and paid for by the DNC. Well, was a Progressive Victory PAC. Yeah. And I'm just like, who is listening to this bitch? How are these people coming back into vogue all of a sudden? Like, I know Destiny's been on a couple of interviews, and I'm just, every time I know Myron has been, I don't know if he's done it yet or not, but he was talking about bringing Destiny back on. I'm like, dude, you are enabling exactly the same people you were fighting against in 2024. You know that, right? You do know this. Okay, just so we're all clear about this. And I talked to Andrew Wilson about the same thing, because Andrew Wilson went and had some quote unquote debate. It's never a debate. It's just a yelling match. But like, he's bringing Destiny on. And the only reason I can think of why you would bring Destiny on is just simply it's engagement.
Better be milking him for yucks, man.
Yeah. I'm like, you already know he is an admitted sex offender. You do know this, right? You're bringing an admitted sex offender on your show. You got that, right? Okay. All right. You also know that he was paid for by the DNC and Progressive Victory, right? And he had to sign non-disclosure agreements, right? You know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? In fairness, my guilty pleasure was watching him with Norman Finkelstein. I don't know if you watched that one, but having him sit there and Wikipedia the Holocaust and having to argue about that till Finkelstein calls him just a moron.
You know what you should. My advice to Andrew is go look at your numbers when you were going head to head with Tommy Lahren, and then go look at your numbers when you're going and debating Destiny. I will guarantee you there's a qualifiable difference between those two, and the analytics of both of those.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Better be.
Okay. Oh, here's another one. Okay.
Another Jeep girl? What girls is he meeting in this Jeep?
Dude, I just met Amber in a Jeep parked right next. Dude, you gave me this too already. Oh, said this needs work after looking under it, and she asked me for a no. Yeah, we got it, man. Thank you. I'm proud of you. Keep it up, man.
Wait a minute, is this an ad for Jeep?
I know. Keeps America together. Rollo. Thanks, Sir Mr. Jason. I appreciate you. What is this? Jeez, they're just coming in hot and heavy today. Rollo back on track. Yeah. You know what else is back on track? You can actually chat over $100 now. That's back on track. Thank you very much.
What happened with that? Is it on your end or on YouTube's end?
No, YouTube was throttling my super chats for a while. Apparently you're able to go over $50 now. No, what they were doing is, and I don't know if this was an algorithm thing, but they must have dialed it back recently, because I've been getting super chats even on Access Vegas now finally. But for the longest time, like, people were saying I can't super chat at all, or I can only super chat $20. I can't super chat $50. I'm like, what the fuck? And these are
I didn't even know that was a thing they did.
And these are like members and people who've been part of my chat for forever, and they're like, yeah, I can't go above $20. And I'm like, why would that be? And it's probably because they're trying to like throttle back this content, right? So that's the only thing I can think of. But now apparently they've lifted that ban, so that's good news. Bradley is blue pilled alpha. Yeah, most definitely. But you also have to remember Bradley is all about the brand too. So nothing I can do about that. I have to be. I mean, I like Brad well enough, but he's pretty tight with Mike, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on this one. But
it's also not a cargo cult, right? If you're hot enough and attractive and charming enough that you don't need to worry about this stuff and you can weather the thing, like, go for it.
Well,
why would you want to be in the red pill willingly? Like, if you don't have to, don't.
It's like anytime it's like the thing is, and I hate this too, because like I consider myself a Christian as well, but it's like whenever it's like, yay, Team Jesus, right? Yeah. Like they have no idea what the history is with this guy Joaquin and Myron, but it doesn't matter because as long
Joaquin?
as
this guy. Loop.
But you don't need to be in the loop for this. It's just this guy. It's just this guy who, like, you know how Myron was going around doing his. He was in. I think this one was from like either University of North Carolina or South Carolina, University of South Carolina, and he's doing the Steven Crowder thing, which is like, I'm a misogynist, change my mind, you know. and it's like open to, and then he's like he's also been doing a lot of like on the street kind of things similar to this down in downtown Miami right now in Brickell. And I guess it works because it definitely generates the outrage bait clips. And Myron's very good at fielding this kind of stuff because he just lets shit roll off of him. And usually it just devolves into a shouting match anyways. But this guy, Joaquin.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, this guy, Joaquin, who everybody knows because he's been on the show before and he's been on other shows in the past. And I think he was part of Fresh and Fit's, like maybe their Discord server. I'm not sure if memory serves. But the guy basically married a single mom, found God, and now has a step child and has his own kid on the way or something like that. And so he went up against Myron. Some people said it was a plant. Knowing Fresh and the rest of these guys, could be. I don't know either way. I've been so out of the loop with that for so long. I couldn't say yes or no. But of course now Bradley picks up on it and he's like, he thinks it's all legit. And he doesn't. By the way, Brad, at least do Myron the solid and show the rest of that clip before you like make a buzz clip out of it.
Yeah, Brad. Don't be a prick.
Brad. Is there a red pill lesson from the Diddler case?
Yeah, don't use baby oil. You got to get the KY jelly. Everybody knows this.
Case, the red pill lesson. No, you know what your red pill. Here's your red pill lesson. Did you know, man? The irony is this: the very same day that P. Diddy was absolved of exonerated because I know there's
acquitted, whatever.
Acquitted, right? Yeah. The very day he walks out of the courtroom scot-free, more or less. He didn't really do anything illegal. It's not illegal to be a freak, right?
Yeah.
But the very day he walks out is the same day that they cancel Marilyn Manson's opening concert in the UK because of the domestic abuse allegations that he beat back in January of this year, but everybody still thinks he should have been punished or whatever else. And so now the way they're punishing him is they basically protest his concert. It's at a public place. The public place in the UK just says, no, we're not having it here, and canceled him. So Marilyn Manson, who was exonerated of all charges for domestic violence or whatever, abuse, whatever, he has his concert canceled, but P. Diddy walks out and everybody celebrates like it's the 4th of July.
Not just walks out, but his entire fan squad crew is oiling themselves in baby oil outside the courthouse.
And just like having a big ass party and everything else.
Dude, imagine if you could have an audience that loyal to like run themselves up flagpoles for you when you're acquitted for whatever the hell you did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
I have like a Hawaiian shirt crew outside every court case when I have a parking ticket. Oh, I'd kill for that kind of.
Well, I told you,
fandom, man.
And this has happened, except for with the present exception included, and a few other select people. Like whenever I get fucked with by let's see, Brittany Venti, who I've been exonerated from, or Lauren Southern, who, by the way, here's Lauren. I haven't heard from her in almost over a year. I wonder why. Or Lauren Chen, or any of these, or Isabella, De Laguna, or whoever it is. Yeah, Cake Tits. Where's my love? Where's my Rollo? You were right. Let's make it rain, right? Or Destiny, fucking with me. Guess what? Destiny did have a thing going with Lauren. That's why you don't hear from her anymore. It kind of disappointed me because I kind of was hoping that Andrew Wilson was going to give Destiny a little bit more shit about the Lauren Southern thing, but that never materialized. I guess that wasn't part of the debate. But it's like, yeah. So is Rollo Tomasi vindicated from all the bullshit you accused him of like 2 years ago? Yes, he is. And,
hey man, attrition is still a win.
But no, what did I tell you back then? I said I expect there to be nobody will have my back, and with the few exceptions, nobody have my back. And that's why I have to remind these people even after. Well, Rollo, why is it so important to you? Because you guys wanted me to go to fucking jail. That's why.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Heck, I remember privately, like I don't want to say what we said, but there was I think the big issue is a lot of people are afraid to hurt somebody. Like you're a bigger brand, and I know a lot of people are thinking about their brand when they're talking to you. And so they're like, well, I better not say anything to cross them because then I might lose that thing. And I'm just like, I don't give the core group of guys don't give a fuck if you want to hear it or not, if we think it's in your best interest to hear it. I think it's a rare thing. Well, I'm just glad it all worked out in the end.
You're the one that keeps reminding me, man, like I'm red pill with women, but I'm very overly trusting of guys.
See, you would be better off if you were a smaller brand like me, like less than 100,000 people, because then
agile.
Yeah, because right now people see you, and yeah, you're great, but they see you as like a means to an end now. So it's like that rich guy problem. Do they like me for me or for my money? So you have that extra thing to worry about.
I know, and I can't get away. I cannot get a win.
Well, I mean, you could, but I don't think you want to do what you have to do to get dinged on social media.
Yeah, exactly.
Pull a Stefan Molyneux? No, it's not worth it, man.
Well, like, I've got a beef with Orion Taraban, who to this day still won't say my name, and I knew that he was coming into the studio, like a Red One studio. I knew that.
Wait, he won't use your name, but he'll come into your studio?
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's exactly what I brought up with all the people in the comment section afterwards, going, "Oh man, Orion's so much better than Rollo. Ryan this and Ryan that, blah blah blah." I'm like, you guys realize that he's in my studio. He's in the studio that took me 2 years to get. He's using the audio equipment that I couldn't even get Mike to go in and use until it was just tits and ass perfect, using my cameras, my lenses. At the table that me and Kyle built.
He backed up the toilet in the bathroom, didn't buy more toilet paper. I'm just saying.
Well, it's just the thing that gets me is like the reason why I brought this up is I threw this out there is because Rollo's so petty. He's always trying to get people to recognize his work and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, first of all, he doesn't say shit. But if I'm the one that's petty, then why am I letting this guy come into my house, you fuck my wife, drink my wine, use my tables, whatever else, and I'm
What's
just
wrong
like,
with being petty, by the way?
Exactly.
I would actually like you better if you were petty.
Yeah.
I'm petty. I'm not better than this.
Well, apparently everybody thinks I am. I'm like, dude, I'm the Dave Mustaine of the red pill. Too many people think I'm an asshole. I'm not, man. I do a lot of good work. I wrote all those songs on Master of Puppets.
I invented the piano key necktie.
What have you created? Nothing.
Yeah, what's the problem with being petty? That's what I don't get, man. Be petty. Absolutely. If somebody wants... Everybody's chasing clout and they're just thinking about their brand. Yeah, be a little petty. Just be fun. Just don't be boring about it.
Why not? Yeah, yeah. Be petty. Don't be boring.
Yeah.
No, and so that's what I was saying. I was like, you guys don't, like, you idiots don't know the backstory of any of this stuff. And that's why it's like, if I'm the one that's petty, then why am I allowing this? If I was really petty, I'd say, go fuck yourself. Go find another studio. But I didn't. The same thing, like they had like Fresh was in our studio with CGA. And I'm like, cool, go for it. I like CGA. Go ahead, use the studio, go do your thing. I didn't like who CGA was working for right up until recently. But
oh, dude, Greg, holy jeez, I had forgotten. I was like, who the fuck is this again?
I know.
No, I mean that. I just like, I've forgotten more red pill than you ever. I'm there now. I feel old.
No,
how did you do that?
I don't have a problem with them. I honestly don't. It's just like everybody thinks I have such a beef. I'm like, no, I didn't like the fact that he was like so married to 21 Convention, and now the 21 Convention is defunct and nobody even knows who Anthony Johnson's name is anymore. I'm like, fine, go ahead.
I'm keeping it alive.
Go
Give it, Bruno. I won't let them die on me. I need the ads to run.
Fresh didn't want to tell me. He didn't like. He had an interview. He's like, yeah, I'm going to be in Vegas. I'm like, oh, cool. I'll come see you. He's like, hey, can I use your studio for an interview or something? I'm like, okay. He didn't want to tell me it was CGA. I'm like, dude, I don't have a problem. It's okay. Go, please do. But if I was petty, then I would say go fuck yourself. But I didn't.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, there's only I think 1 or 2 people not allowed in the studio, and that's not even for petty. Well, one's for petty, but the other one is mostly the studio, like keeping the studio running. Don't let him in here, kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, there's only 2 people who are 86 from the studio, more or less. You know.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want Destiny in the studio, put it that way. But I would have him in before I would have Pearl, put it that way. But that's just, you know, that's
more you just don't want him around.
Well, I doubt anything would ever happen. It's not like it's going to happen. It's not an everyday occurrence. So, and Mike would probably have Destiny in because Mike still like thinks Destiny's worthwhile. And the thing that kills me is like, I'm like,
why? How?
Okay,
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Never mind.
Because it's clout taking is what it is, clout grifting.
Fair.
No, like for instance, like we're at 1830 views right now. I told Mike, I said, Mike, why don't you just come on my show? Like if you think it's worthwhile to go on Alex from Playing with Fire's show all the time, look at his numbers.
He's still kicking around too.
His numbers are shit. He does nothing. Look at this. Look at the shows and the numbers of the shows that you go on. Like they're lucky if a good show for them is like $6,000 or 6,000. I'm like, I regularly do between 15 and 25, depending on what the topic is. I'll do better because you're on the show. Thank you for coming. Hey, we're featuring Rian Stone. But hi guys.
I'm coming after you, by the way. The hair's coming back, so we'll get there.
Yeah, well,
I'm not wearing a damn toque or whatever it is you got on, but do rag or.
Dude, you're gonna hate me. I was thinking about cutting it recently.
You're going back to the clean cut with the suit look?
No, I'm not going to do that. I might do the Matt Heafy look, which is the guy who's the singer from Trivium. But other than that, but no, I don't know. I might do the Jason Statham thing. I might not go like straight up bald, but I might get 5 o'clock shadow that he's got on his head. I think that might work for a little while.
Very green line, love it.
I'm not quite bald enough to do that, but like the thing about Jason Statham is like he defies all odds, and he's about my age too. So,
is he really?
Yeah, he's old. He's in his 50s. I know that. So, damn. Did you know Brad Pitt is 61 years old? Holy shit!
I knew I used to think he was the young one, and George Clooney was the old one, until I found out Brad Pitt was older than George Clooney back in the Ocean's 11 days. And then I realized, what is with this guy? And then Robert Redford's like 96, and he's still doing movies. I'm like, what the?
Yeah,
there's something. I think it's that baby blood that they all drink over there that keeps them young.
Yeah. The blood of 12-year-olds.
Yeah. I gotta find some of that, man.
Reminds me of that Slayer song, like "Bloodline, siphon your blood to me, keep you alive." Yeah, but no, so what gets me is like Brad Pitt's hairline. I'm like, the guy has had some pretty good hair restoring, because I can't imagine he hasn't had at least 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's interesting. I have quite the article to read to you today, and I don't know if you know this chick. Her name is Coral Osborne. Do you know who Coral Osborne is?
As in Ozzy or?
No. She's like. Okay, she's gonna probably watch this, so I'm just gonna say it anyways. She's
like, hi, Coral.
Hi, Coral. She has the perfect spinner body type. You know what I'm talking about? Like she's like very thin. She's got no tit. Got a little bit tit. But like I was just joking with Mike. I go, Mike, because Mike has a certain personality type that he likes, and it's usually 2600cc personalities.
Makes sense.
And I told Mike, I said, Mike, I said, big boobs to you are what thigh gap is to me.
Oh, is she this one here that's like a sexual alliance manager, coach, partner?
Yeah. Oh, follow her on Instagram. She's great.
She reminds me, she looks a lot like, do you remember Dr. Taylor Burrows? Do you remember her?
Sort of. And
the girl that you helped get a family from your cruelty.
I know. See, I'm spreading love and joy wherever I go. I'm not Dave Mustaine of the Red Pill. I'm just
Even your haters benefit from you. John Anthony lost 50 pounds after you called him a fat fuck. I'm just saying.
Yes. Yeah. Fat kid in Brazil.
Oh, she seems nice.
I'm not fat. Yeah, now you're not. Yeah, she's cool, pretty cool. I've been DMing her recently because I just sort of pick her brains because she has a different perspective now. Okay, so we have to know Coral's history. Coral was she actually sings. She's a very good singer, by the way. There's your I'm glossing you, polishing you a little bit more because I'm gonna really tear into her today. And then she's a pretty good writer, very good writer. She's on Substack. If you haven't followed her, I would. I think she might have gone to paid, but she might still be free right now. She is a certified sexologist, whatever the fuck that means. But I think that means like I'm a psychology major with a focus on fucking. That's pretty much it. And she was a former quote unquote sex worker, which means escort in my book. And but apparently those days are behind her, and she's going and giving like sort of TED style talks all over. She's on a world tour right now. I think she's in Portugal. But really interesting person. And like, as I said before, she's attractive. I thought she was attractive, but she has that kind of like, you know me, man. I like skinny chicks.
And definitely a skinny one.
Chick. Yes. Yeah. So, but she's a spinner. That's all the best way. Okay, I'm dating myself. What is that, 80s or 90s?
Probably. You know what? It's coming back. I like that. I can't wait for like Radical and stuff to come back. I think it's going to be great. So yeah, use spinner.
I use bitching quite a bit. So
nice.
Yeah, just to date myself.
Zoomers are going to love it.
Oh God, how to get over a woman you can't be with? She is perfect, and I've had a crush for 15 years. That's your bigger problem, my friend. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you how to get over her. The fact that you've had a crush for 15 years tells me all I need to know. She makes all over women 7s and below. Okay.
Oh, you know the beauty of that? That's in your head. That's not her. That's you.
Dude,
that's your imagination.
15 years you've been pining for this bitch, dude. That's a bigger problem than actually getting over her. Like you just have to get out there. You just have to fucking go fish where the fish are. You've got to go immerse yourself in other options. That's about, you got to ask, but before you do that, you got to ask yourself, why have I been pining for her for 15 some odd years? Like you're not in love with her. She's not a crush. It's just the idea of her. It's the idealization of her that you can't get over. She's what's it gonna take? Her getting married? No, you'll still think you got it. So there's a chance if she gets divorced, you know.
And she can't even match this. Like 15 years. There's no way in hell she doesn't have a little bit of wear and tear. And I'm not saying that to shit on her. Maybe she's still gorgeous, but
you met her in high school?
Yeah.
When we were sophomore.
Oh, go to your high school reunion. That'll sort this out.
There you go. Yeah, right.
Hit that 20-year reunion. Oh boy, everybody in mine was so old.
I'm trying to think what Mike would say. Mike would say, imagine she has syphilis.
Well, this is really an addiction thing, right? Is it the same as alcoholism or smoking or just really like quitting smoking?
Yeah, but it's, it's funny. It's like when everybody, and God, I hate this, but everybody seems to think that there has to be a yin to the yang in everything, right? There has to be some sort of balance to the force. There's the light side and the dark side. There's the Jedi and the Sith. It's like, no, there's not. There's no such thing as fucking karma. There's no
just because you work out doesn't mean you can't be smart. It's not D&D stats where you have to roll and you get X amount of points. It's just
exactly. I'm so sick of like, oh well, if, men do it too and women do it too. I was like, no, they don't. There's actually differences, and sometimes it's sexism and sometimes it's unfair. Yeah, that's how life works. Life sucks. Life is unfair. Screws fall out of doors all the time. What movie?
I don't know this one, actually.
She had a Breakfast Club.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, it's an imperfect world. Yeah, sometimes that's how it works. I am so tired of people trying to apply yin to yang, and it's usually the women are wonderful dynamic. But seriously, like if you want to get over a chick, like imagine she has chlamydia. Right? Imagine she has like HIV or something like that. That's basically where you're going to have to start.
And the best way to get over her is actually to get her, and then you find out she has none of your expectations whatsoever. Yeah, that'll be the one that'll wake you up to it. Imagine
she put on 25 pounds. Shit. Imagine she put on 10 pounds.
Dude, I love that one. You know the one where the guy's like, you remember the master's degree conversations going around a while back? Everybody's like, guys like girls who are go-getters and have good jobs and want to do stuff. And the guy's sitting here saying that. I'm like, yeah, if she was fat, would all this matter? And that's the question that shuts it right down.
Yeah.
If she's fat, does it make her more attractive? Nobody ever answers it.
That's a good segue. So the thing I'm going to, so Coral wrote this recent thing. It's for free. You can get it now still on Substack. Substack is my groove, by the way, and I think it's your groove now too, because you're like way more active on Substack these days.
Top 100 in education, sir.
Dude,
top 100 in fiction.
Bravo! I'm in top 100. I think I'm top 15 in health and relationships. I think it's
son of a bitch.
Yeah. But then of course you float back. It's usually like you put something. Yeah, it's like Billboard Top 40 kind of thing. It's like your song only lasts so many weeks on the top 40. Yeah. So I hit the magic 300 paid subs just about a week ago. It was when I was in Tahoe, actually. So I
welcome to the club, sir.
I think I'm at 306 right now. Do you have 300?
Oh, I've got at least 400. Hold on, I'm checking it now.
Paid subs.
Yeah.
Paying. Oh.
Okay, 375. 375.
Killing
That's
me.
in my first one. I also switched the workshop over from Patreon to there. So that one's got another 127. So
I've been
so it's 500 altogether.
I've been seriously considering like pushing my people over from Patreon to my Substack, but I got too many people on Patreon right now.
Yeah, you'll lose some in the migration, but the tools are just way better and more efficient, and the access controls are easier.
True.
And it's a choice you have to make.
Well, see, the Substack I'm way more active on because like I take the chapters from the new book and then I repurpose them as posts. Well, sometimes, some of them. And people seem to be liking that quite a bit because it's kind of like you get a preview. Follow me on Substack and get a preview of the new book.
Well, it's good, right? Because if they're going to get your book and they'd come in, some people are going to be coming in blind. So at least with excerpts, they're like, okay, so I know what I'm getting. You never get anybody who's disappointed in what they were looking for.
Yeah.
Which will help because then nobody will be leaving you a bad review. I was expecting his game book and instead I got his, what's your book? New one?
Reignite.
And that guy wanted game and he gets all mad and you're just like, fuck, it's not what it was. But now there's none of that.
Reignite's great, man. It's like, the more I write it, the better the theme is hitting me. Because like I originally put it together because I wanted it to be sort of a companion to the Reignite program that I'm doing right now.
Right.
But it took on a life of its own. And you know me, right? Like I'm like, I'm just going to write a 200-page pamphlet thing. So like, like people can get like a primer or something for this.
Yeah. 6 years later.
No,
I've devolved it all into the history of religion.
I promised myself, I'm like, okay, the 5th book is it. No more. I'm like, no, we're going to add a 6th one to it.
You better. I think I'm beating you now. I think this is number 7.
Oh, your book?
Yeah. Coming out in October.
Oh, your next book. Yeah. Oh, but your fiction books.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't know if that counts.
Oh, it doesn't count. Sorry.
Well, because it has to be in the same genre, right?
Does it have to be? I see what we're doing here. Okay, yeah.
When I you'll be ahead of me when I put out my first fiction book. You know who's ahead of all of us is Aaron Clary. Aaron Clary is
true.
Mean. Like he writes a book a year practically. But no, I'm gonna read this thing to you from Quee. I think you'll enjoy it. We'll riff on that a little bit. But before we do, I gotta do this. Oh my goodness, another one. Holy mackerel. When Rollo pumping iron to this goated stream.
Hey.
Where's the gym? Over there. Good for you, man. Yeah, keep going. What do you got here? Shout out to Rollo, the real OG. Thank you. It's Manofu. Man, I had Donovan Sharp in here. I had what's his name from No Fugazi. Now No Fugazi's in. Yay. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Gosh, it's like a who's who of the red pill now, right? Did you see the 3 teachers I emailed this week? I got to 2 of them. I'm not sure about the 3rd one. I know, it's funny is like I had just reported on I think it was the 2nd one, and maybe I got to the 2nd and the 3rd one, but I just reported on it. Like I said, okay, this is by the way, we're at number 48 right now. And so I just reported on number 47. Number 48 just jumps in like within like 2 hours of me talking about the number 47. And if you think that this isn't some sort of epidemic, you are absolutely wrong, because last year we got to 79 individual isolated incidents of teachers. Let's see.
I just say grapes. I just talk about the fruit.
Statutory grapes. Yes. And the thing that kills me about this, and I hate it when I do this, because like every time I use the term statutory grape, as I don't say grapes, on Twitter, the first thing out of anybody's mouth is, well, it's not really like that because, you know, it's a guy, blah, blah, blah. He enjoyed, where were these girls when I was in high school? Like I'm like in before, you know, all of this stuff. I was
Well,
like,
it's fine. The law doesn't count now. I'm like, all right, if that's how you want to roll it.
I know. Or then it's like a Christian school teacher, or what the one that just got
the married one where the husband forgives her and takes her back, and then with the kid walk her to the courthouse to get her through it together. It's like polycutes now.
Exactly. And it's like, so there's more to it than just that. But the reason I even started like picking up on all it, because I had always like logged these with Pat Campbell. As far back as Pat Campbell, we started talking about this.
And Frank Servy's been doing it for years.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to do my annual show on female teacher student sexual assault very soon.
I was gonna say the reach on this one too. So I don't know if you know this guy. He's a YouTuber named A Dose of Buckley. He's a Canadian one. He's been around for like 15 years, like old Terrence Pop stuff. He does music, and we've kind of got a back and forth because Canadian content creators, there's only 7 of us. Mm-hmm. Because of you and Frank Servy, he's like, you're the female child diddler expert. And I'm like, whoa. So now he's starting to put out stuff on this. So like your reach is kind of reaching people that have nothing to do with this space. The guy does music reviews.
And all I started doing was logging them.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. I don't really, half of them I don't even comment.
The Steve Saylor of child diddler teachers.
Well, the
just
thing
notice.
So you know what prompted me to do this was Will Costello's incel research, and like those guys getting on a terrorist watch list as a result of that, or all the shit that went down with adolescents and all this other crap. And like no one is holding his feet to the fire for any of that. And the thing that kills me is like the whole shit that went down in the UK about like, oh, we're going to make this like adolescence is going to be a mandatory watch for school kids in the UK. And this is a documentary. It's not a documentary. It is a work of fantasy. It is fiction. And guess who facilitated that? Will Costello. And the reason why I started logging all these female teachers is because I said, look, there have been more female statutory rapists in the last month than there have been in
Southeast Asian Canadians.
Incel shooting incidents, right? Yeah, exactly, that too. Yeah. But
but you're right. When was the last one of those, by the way?
Yeah, where's that? And if that's the case, why are you not? You're an evolutionary psychologist. Does this because it fascinates me? Like, why is the red pill the only one that's reporting on this or talking about this? You don't hear Chris Williamson talk about it. You don't hear Alex you don't hear anything from Alex from DatePsych anymore.
I was gonna say, after that whole bull with his wife thing, he's kind of gone private, hasn't he?
Oh my God, private. I think he's just basically gone away with his tail between his legs. Oh yeah.
You hate to see bad things happen to good people, you know?
Oh man. You couldn't happen to asshole.
Talentless fuck.
And that's all it took. Really, that's all it took. I would think he would roll back from that, but he didn't. Good. Bye. See ya. Yeah. Don't need you. But seriously, the reason why I was doing this is because all these Mac and Murphy, Will Costello, Chris Williamson, who's not really an evolutionary psychologist, but he's one of these guys who should be talking about this and hasn't said a single thing. None of these guys have said a single thing about this. In fact, I don't know any evolutionary psychologists that have even touched this at this point.
But that's the thing too. Chris Williams, he's English, isn't he?
Yeah. Yes.
Like he doesn't even go anywhere near when it comes to like grooming gangs and stuff. England's got a pretty big thing, and he ignores all of it. So it's very clear.
And you want to know why he won't have me on the show? Because the first thing I'll bring up is these incidents, like he's afraid of what I'm going to say. So,
no, I think he needs people on his show to remind him how smart he is. He has that. I'm not like, whatever you guys believe this or not. He just has those impression of like, yeah, I'm the host of this event, but I'm the smartest person in the room. Kind of that ADJ thing. Yeah. And I was like, ugh, yeah.
He
won't have you on with that.
I had to apologize to Mike. I said, I'm sorry, you're never going to go on Chris Williams. He's like, what do you think? I go, because you do a show with me. You're too close to me. There's no way you will go on there. And the same thing with Tim Billou. Like Mike and I were scheduled to do that. Tim Billou's wife hates the red pill. And once we were on the schedule to actually go out to LA and go do a show, canceled. I was like, shit, sorry, Mike. I feel bad because I like Mike. Mike's pretty tight with like Ty Lopez, who likes me too, by the way. But I'm like, unless you like,
Lambo guy with the books.
He's got all kinds of. Yeah, I guess he would be. Yeah,
that's all I remember him from is the bookshelf and the Lambo.
Yeah,
I don't know what he does, to be fair, so I'm out of the loop.
Yeah, Ty. Well, like Mike likes guys like he likes Bradley, and I think Bradley is actually his heart's in the right place. I just think he's just misinformed. Mm-hmm. And then Ty Lopez I like Ty Lopez. I've been invited out. I wish I could get out there. I need to get out to LA and go see Ty. But Mike's been talking to Mystery. He was hanging out with Mystery last night. And he gets with Owen Cook from RSD, who by the way,
wait, he didn't get those two in the same room again, did he?
Me and Owen are tight now, finally. So
Aw.
See,
am I gonna see the two of you talking, walking the Hollywood Hills?
Yes, I like him quite a bit, actually. He's funny as fuck. I get it now. I think you just kind of have to hang out with him for a weekend and you'll understand. You'll get it with him.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's what we're all like, so I can't fault him for that too. Yeah, we're all acquired tastes.
Here he is again. Lift weights. That's easy shit. They'll come to you. Yeah. I know there's so many guys going, you got to be good looking and have a symmetrical face. No, you just have to be yoked.
Well, the thing too, when you're not fat and you work out, your face kind of symmetricals on its own.
Yeah.
That's what the health is.
Well, I knew I was going to have to field this question at some point. And you knew I would have to field this question at some point.
I would have prompted you if he didn't.
Yeah.
Steffi's back, huh?
Yeah, imagine that. God.
What's your thoughts on race realism, Rollo? And go.
I have no words about that.
Phrenology, go.
Not my wheelhouse. Not my circus, not my monkeys. And I do mean monkeys. No. So maybe I should I told you this, so maybe I'll just lead with this. There are two people on planet Earth that Pat Campbell told me never to be in the same room with because somebody might have a camera. Mm-hmm. One of those is Mike Cernovich. I know you're real tight with good old
Horatio Troonblower. Yeah.
So the other person was Stefan Molyneux. And so that has worked well for me in the past, and I'm going to stick to it in the future. I'm just going to say that right now. I think people are looking at Stefan as if he's like the new hotness or there's something novel about him. And to those people, I would say, go look up his last interview with Joe Rogan, and then you'll understand. That's all you have to. That's all I'm going to say about Stefan Molyneux. And
he's Canadian. He's do you know he just lives over in, I think, Mississauga, just by me here, 10 minutes away. Yeah.
Is he in some way tied at all to Lauren Southern?
Well, when she was doing the whole migrant boat gimmick, he was there on that too.
He was on top of that whole thing.
Yeah. And he's attached to that. And I'm actually surprised Milo Yiannopoulos hasn't thrown shade at him on Twitter, because that's all he's got left for content is remember all these people? Well, here's some shit that they did that's really funny. And I'm like,
oh man, he is no fan of Lauren Southern, and I am. I'm here for it, man, because he was saying, oh God, who was it that she slept with? Oh, it was Tommy Robinson, I think.
Yeah.
She knocked it, but which is not.
Well, she's good at sleeping with Fed. She's got a gimmick for it.
Yeah, well, she, according to her ex, she's also had a thing with Andrew Tate and Tommy Robinson, and I forget who the other guy was, but clearly Destiny's on that list. Her notch count. Destiny's part of that notch count.
What's that stupid saying you have? Hybristophiliac or whatever. Not all women are
hybristophiles, but only women are hybristophiles.
Yeah, I think she's a hybristophile because that's 3 alleged ex-cons. Granted, the Destiny one, I wouldn't be that's not armed robbery or anything.
Did you read any of the leaked texts from her to him and back and forth?
I saw a screenshot of one, and I this failed the Jumbotron test, and that's all I needed to see.
It's I was like, it's like that meme. Well, the funniest thing is like she's supposed to be this dyed in the wool, like, you know, turn or burn conservative. Like there's no way she should be in the same room as a guy like this.
Yeah, I know Canadian girls. I know better. Just
yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know, as the famous philosopher David Lee Roth once said, everybody wants some.
I just feel so bad for all of them because they want this second kick at fame, and I don't think they realize. Like, I think their peak is past, and they've got a chance right now, and they're all just throwing each other under the bus, which is going to be fun for 15 minutes.
I feel pretty confident saying she has borderline personality disorder. Like, judging from those texts.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, like, just you should just write bad poetry to each other, because that's essentially what it is. It's just unbelievable. I did a double chat. Sorry, dudes. It's okay. You gave me $50.
Don't be sorry.
You're forgiven. Enjoy the money. I will. Actually, it'll go to Ned's college fund.
Hey, kudos to you, by the way. With I don't know who's on your mod team right now, but your chat since the last time I was on here, night and day difference. These guys are swell.
Did I make Siege I don't know if I made him a mod. That's all Sambata and Kyle. When Kyle's around, Kyle helps me out with modding. What do we got? The Sisterhood Uberalis is real. Once they found Diddy not guilty, Megyn Kelly, Nancy Grace, and other gossip commentators went nuts. Yeah. Yeah.
What does Megyn Kelly think?
Yeah, P. Diddy, right? Well, why?
Yeah, let me filter my gangster rap assault trial through the lens of a 50-year-old soccer mom on Fox.
God. You know what gets me? Yeah, exactly. You know what kills me is and by the way, this is and make it rain for Andrew Wilson for this. But when Andrew he confronted Tommy Lahren on Pierce Morgan and was just like, "What do men get out of it?" Like, just ask a simple question, which is, you know, kind of a red pill question in the first place. And she couldn't answer. And so she has gone on Megyn Kelly. She has gone on Laura Ingraham. And now she's gone, and I have the video, she's gone on Michael Knowles, who was like the first to fight, right? And essentially has gone on all of these shows and is doing so because she still can't answer the question. She's still reeling from getting punched, figuratively speaking, in the face by Andrew Wilson with one simple question. And so now she has to sort of feel better about herself by going on all these shows to talk about the state of men and everything else, because she wants to continue that talk. And there's only one notable person that she's not doing interviews with, and that's Andrew Wilson. She won't go back for more. And that's really who she needs. If you want closure, Tommy, go talk to Andrew one more time, or talk to me, or talk to Myron, or talk to anybody, really. But
I'll be Switzerland. She can talk to me.
Yeah, she's going.
Just ask questions.
She's going to Laura Ingraham. She's going to all these people because they're throwing her softballs. That's why. The whole thing, you're nothing. There's no challenge for Tommy whatsoever. Siege D, Couch brought the fake account trolls with him.
Oh, is Billy in there? All right, you guys will have to deal with it. We got, you know what, Allie? Remember Allie?
Yeah.
She and Torsha had this dude that was hyper fixated on them in their comments, and then I went. Yeah, well, and he was wanting all them, and then I went on their show once, and then he followed me to mine, and he's been there for 6 years. He's the fake Rollo and the fake this, and he's still following, and it's that's why my mod team is 50 people. For a live stream, it gets 200 people. Just to deal with this, because I guess there's some workaround to the YouTube algorithm. But it's been years. I don't know how he's hyper fixated this long.
The only time I ever talk to Tori is when something's wrong. You know,
for her, it's wrong for you.
Well, wrong with her, right? She wants to tell me the black helicopters are circling around her house or some shit like that.
Oddly specific.
No, dead ass, man. I mean, that's basically. And then she has stalkers, and I would not be surprised to find out that this guy is one of those stalkers. Let's see, Siege D, 1 cent short of a heartfelt for couch. Heartfelt. Ryan indirectly gave some great advice to Stefan Molyneux, who returned. Hopefully, he indirectly listens. Yeah, I wouldn't be too. Okay, Stefan
he's lol cow now.
I think we are. I think it's pretty well established that he is a secret king, right? Would you agree with that?
Would you say? I mean, I won't disagree with it.
Yeah, he's definitely a secret king, and everybody has to pay homage because he's been gone for so long, and now everybody has to sort of like respect his authority.
Respect your elders, sir.
Whatever. I don't really have a positive or negative opinion. I'm just like, he's just.
He unironically told a guy today that he was alive during the Cold War, and you guys have it easy. You just have to worry about feminists.
Yeah.
It's like, what in the fuck? You were like 6. Shut up.
Yes. Oh my god.
It's like at the Cuban Missile Crisis, I was trying to live stream and
I saw tanks in the Cuban border. Yeah, I know. Did you? You must be way older than me because I didn't even see tanks. I was not around for the Cuban Missile Crisis. I know people think I was, but I was not.
It's like everybody acts. As long as the Berlin Wall's up, you get to say we were terrified all the time about nuclear war. It's like, no, we weren't. I was only a child, but I remember the 80s weren't nearly as depressing as you think.
Yeah, all I can say is go look up the last interview he did with Rogan before he got ratioed, and I think you'll get a better idea of what he's really about, because he was putting him on the back foot is probably a bad idea, because as I said before, people who are pathological personalities, the worst thing you can tell them is no. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Anthony Johnson. Same thing. You will know them by how well they take the answer no. Before you cut your hair, Rollo, I didn't say I was going to do it just yet. What has been your hair routine for long hair for years? I intend on growing mine. Anything else I could expect? I miss couch with long hair too. Did you have long hair?
Yeah, it was down. I mean, it was always all the way down to here.
I
didn't want to go too far. And then I kind of mulleted it up. It was pretty good. Had like the faucet.
Oh, business in front, party in the rear.
Yeah, but then it went full. What's her name? The chick from the 70s, Fawcett, Farrah Fawcett.
Farrah Fawcett, yeah.
Yeah, the Farrah Fawcett, like the Charlie's Angel look.
Right. She was Canadian. Right?
I don't even remember.
My hair routine is just let it grow, more or less.
Wash it less than you think.
I use Ion products, if that makes any difference. There's this stuff called guacamole that is like the best conditioner I've ever found. But I kind of found it by accident. And I dye my hair. Jesus Christ. I think he dyes his hair. Yeah, I do. Okay. I'm 57 years old. I dye my hair. So like, I guess I better quit. It's like finding out my real name. Oh, yeah, you got me. I'm going to take all my books down now. I'm going to stop all my channels. Yes, you caught me. Sorry, that's not my real name. Rian Stone, not his real name either, by the way.
No, it's Stoneski. I'm Russian Jew.
Stoneski, yes.
I don't know. I'm fucking know.
Yes.
I just like those guys like Doc Savage and names like that. And I was like, dude, that'd be a cool one. And I went with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I use Rollo Tomasi as my pen name, so whatever.
Honestly, the semi-anonymous is way better. Because first off, well, you've seen, how many people have you seen that are all brand now? They've bought into their mark. You talk to them as a person and they're still on brand when you're just like at a coffee house.
Yeah.
And I think that's great because like you can turn Rollo Tomasi off and I can go turn Ryan off. Like when I went to go see Clary, just talk to him like a human being. And I think it's harder when you are your brand, right?
Yeah. Well, especially if I hang out with my wife, sometimes she'll slip and she'll call me by my real name. Right? I'm like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine. But I'm sorry. Don't be. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is being able to turn off the personality, and like I think that's becoming increasingly more difficult for people, because once your ego is measured in click-through rate and likes and follows and subs, and that's when you turn.
It's funny how they don't measure it based on revenue. You'd think that would be important.
Yeah. Well, it is. That's actually a component to it, because it's because if your revenue is based on that, then any hit you take is not just an ego hit. It's also a hit to your revenue. And that's why people, especially people who are very immature, people who can't handle this, that's why they lose their shit. Did you hear about, I'll give you a present day example. Did you hear about that guy? There's two podcasters, And one guy, they were at the Bellagio. They were right out in front of the Bellagio, and this guy basically went hunting for this dude because he was going to get him another nudity strike or some kind of to take his channel down on YouTube. And that dude, again, was one of these guys. He's like one of these white boy gangster kind of type guys. I don't know what exactly they did, but the guy got caught. But he basically killed the other dude and his wife right in front of the Bellagio. Just gunned him down.
Over a podcast.
Over a podcast, because he thought he was going to go and try to take his podcast down, because they were competitors in the same kind of niche, I guess. I have no idea what that niche was because it was out of my wheelhouse. But and I forget the dude's name, but the police caught him. The guy's basically now going to go. Well, you did it in Nevada, so you're probably facing a death penalty at this point because it's premeditated murder.
You guys do that there?
Yeah, you're probably going to go down. At the very least, you're serving the rest of your life in jail for a podcast, right? And it sounds
was it a good podcast? I mean, I don't know the name of it either, but was it a good podcast?
Oh, I don't know. The guy, from what I could see, the guy was live streaming from his car, looking for the other dude so he could go gun him down, right? And I'm like, you don't think you're going to get caught? Like, it's right in front of the Bellagio. It's like pretty high traffic area.
Oh, the casinos don't have much for security. You'll be fine. Just go in there, guns blazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was on the sidewalk out in front. So, but the long and the short of it is that that's how seriously people take this stuff. And I don't know if you remember me saying this, but back in, I think it was 2022. It was March of 2022, and it was supposed to be myself, Donovan Sharp, and Cappy. We were supposed to go on Fresh and Fit. And it was the first time Fresh and Fit ever got I think it was a nudity strike violation for their show, and they got a week.
Did Clary do the helicopter again?
No, that wasn't the helicopter again. No,
I'm cutting you off. I'm sorry.
I know. No, that's funny though. No, it was because I don't know if you remember this, but because I can show you right now. If you go and you look at where is it? If you look at for instance, I'm just going to put this up real quick. If I look at this, you look at this guy's avatar right here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very small when you're looking at it in the chat thing, but if you superimpose it, it's very big, right?
Right.
So what people on
those AI ones where you make it look like something else?
Well, no. People they would create fake accounts and they put a dick and balls on the AV, or they put titties or something like that as the AV, right? And they just made it half an hour ago, and it turns out it was Anthony Johnson's people and his server and the people they just basically didn't want me and Aaron and Donovan to be on Fresh and Fit, right? So they got him a nudity strike, because imagine me doing this and suddenly that avatar is actually boobs or a cooter or something like that. And what happens then is they superimpose that and they go, whoa,
and then they report it.
Everybody mass report it. And so essentially what it does is it gets you a nudity strike. You have a 1 week suspension because it's a hard strike. And by the way, this is when Anthony Johnson was real tight with DDJ, right? It's probably DDJ who came up with this.
Another VH1, where have they been? I forgot all about him.
Yeah.
And his T-Rex arms.
So during that time, I was and we couldn't host it. I had a pretty big channel at the time. Donovan could have hosted it, but if you host it, you'll get the strike too, right? And so essentially all he was doing was trying to keep me and Donovan and Aaron from actually going on the show. And he did it. He was successful about it. And I thought about this, and I had a conversation with Byron and Fresh about this. I said, essentially what they're doing is they're holding your channel hostage. And they went and explained what had happened to YouTube. And then they discovered who it was and how it happened and everything. And they removed the ban, but not before we had to leave. Right.
Right.
And so, effectively what they were doing was you could theoretically hold a channel for ransom and say, we're gonna mass report you if you don't do what we say, or if you have Rollo on, we're gonna mass report you, right? That kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And so therefore I don't get to go on the channel because of fuckwits like that, right? And then I thought about this and I go, how would you ever fight something like that? Because it's just easier for YouTube to just delete your channel, or to or to just close you down than it is to try to untangle or sort out all this stuff for a niche that they don't like in the first place, right?
Yeah.
And then I said, so you're not what? So what are you going to do? Go to the police? Go to the FBI? Go to the Better Business Bureau? What are you going to do to fight this? Absolutely nothing.
Take him to court. He has no money.
So yeah, exactly. He's got no money. What are you going to do? Nothing. You can't do anything except for frontier justice. You go out and you hunt the guy down in front of the Bellagio and you tap him and his wife. That's
don't do this, guys. We're talking hypothetically here.
It's not, hypothetically. This is not advice. But that's exactly what I was saying at the time. I said the only justice left is frontier. And I made sure I said frontier justice because I wanted people to get the idea, but I didn't want to say anything.
It's a good euphemism.
It's the same thing as like in Prohibition, like when people were doing bathtub gin and they were like trying to compete with each other. And that's why people went and shot up drinking establishments during the Roaring 20s because during Prohibition, because who are you going to go to? The cops? You can't. It's an illegal operation, right? And so pretty much it's the Wild West. And so what happened at the Bellagio was what I was worried was what might eventually happen as a result of these guys who are taking their revenue away from them by trying to get their channels taken down. And when you look at a channel like Fresh and Fit at that time, they were doing anywhere between $100,000 to $120,000 a month just in super chats alone. So you take away a week of super chats and you're taking away like $50,000 from them. That's a lot of money.
It's not nothing.
That's a lot of money. And it's like, and if that's your primary source of income and that's like your livelihood, you might go hunt for a guy in front of the Bellagio. And that's what I was worried about that time. And that's exactly what happened just recently. And I hate this. I hate being right all the time. I really hate being right about this one. So I thought that was bad. So let's answer this guy's question now that I've been running using his guitar here. I would like to see a reaction to the line video of Hey You, Body Count Does Not Matter with Catherine Drysdale and Alyssa Lajuba. Sam, can you look up those names for me? Because I have no earthly idea who Catherine Drysdale or Alyssa Lajuba
Doesn't matter, though. It's the same thing they always do. And I get it. The worst part is, like, I kind of agree with the statement, but not for the same reason they do. I agree because the horses are out. You know, the place is on fire. You can't...
What are you going to do?
Yeah, where do you want to find this virgin? If you want to find a virgin, you're going to have a different criminal issue to worry about. It's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Or like, it's like that meme, like, oh, I'm looking for this asocial schizoid guy who is, looking for a perfect, virgin wife. And it's like, no woman is looking for you, right? Yeah. Because they're all ran through. Every one of them. If that's your criteria, they're all ran through.
It's like those goofy feminist types that are like, I want to find a man who's never looked at porn. It's like, good luck. Good luck.
Yeah.
You're never going to find it. They don't exist. So why are we arguing about this, right?
Which I'll tell you what's funny is I got into this conversation with Coral Osborne about this. And I have, you have to pay for it. Sorry, it's on my Substack. But I have an article called Guys Who Don't Fuck. And it was about like guys who do fuck don't care about body count. They don't care about body count because they're just don't care, got laid, right? Yeah. And I'm a part of that. I thought it was a pretty well-written article too, if I do say so myself. But I said, once you hit like 50 years old, all that pretentious bullshit about like body count and oh my God, and she has kids and she's ran through, all that flies out the fucking window, man. It's just
how does she treat you? That's a very important metric.
Are you down to fuck? Yes. Oh, okay. Because by the time you get to that age, you're never, I'm 50 and I'm going to go look for like some 18-year-old virgin.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
And even then, like do you remember? It was an old Black Dragon blog article. Do you remember Caleb, right?
Yes, I do.
He had this one where he brought up all of those, because everybody loves the stat. Well, this is your dicks versus your chance of divorce. And after one dick, you're done. And he went through all that, and he's like, he was talking about his ex-wife. She was the virgin when we met. We did this, we did that. He had everything. She still cheated, and she still left. So if what's the point of these statistics then, if they're not even predictive? And I agree with them. You're not going to find this, and you're looking at the wrong numbers.
Go talk to Steven Crowder. Ask about his virgin wife.
Yeah. Go find out if he ever got that dog shit picked up, because I still think it's there.
go look up the article he wrote for Fox News about how he did everything right. I think it was like in 2014, 2015. He was just so self-righteous and so smug about the whole fucking thing. And I don't think he likes being reminded of that too. I don't know if anybody has said anything about that, but it's like, Steve, remember that article you wrote back in 2015 when you were just like, jumping all up everybody's ass about like how they're not doing it right, and it does work for you, and you met your girl in like church camp and all this other bullshit. Remember that? Because that was
none of that. I don't want to hear this.
That was a very well-read article, Steve. Yeah, but he's come like I don't want to give him any grief because he's really sort of come around, but like. Better late than never, I guess. But like I wonder what his opinion would be about all that stuff.
It just really sucks when these type of guys confidently Pied Piper guys into stupid mistakes, because that's the problem with the whole thing, right? And I know these girls didn't say that on their video. The whole hyperfixation on Nox count is as a protection measure so that you don't get hurt by a girl cheating on you or cucking you or whatever. And they think, well, as long as I do this, then I'll be saved from this. And that's not how it works at all. So by notch count doesn't matter. It's not that, she can take 50 dicks, it's fine. It's more so about like, you're never going to know. So why worry about a measurement you'll never know anyway? 2, everybody's got one now. You're not going to find anybody who doesn't. And 3, it's not even the most important thing to watch out. Does she treat you well? Does she keep you sexually satisfied? Are you left wanting anything? If you've got a kink and she refuses to do the kink and you're together, then yeah, that's a problem. But that had nothing to do with notch count. Yeah. That had to do with you settling for something that wasn't what you wanted.
Well, I have this, I got this really great, I'll read it here in just a second. I was going to actually, you know what? Let's riff on that real quick. Cause this is a good segue.
Is it good?
Yeah, it is very good. I don't know. Have you seen this on Twitter recently? They pull. I love how these migrate over from like Reddit to
well, haven't you heard the saying that the internet now is 5 social media sites sharing screenshots from each other?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah. This is a good one though. So I'm sorry if this is going to sound panicked and frantic, but we just had this fight 12 hours ago. This is a chick, by the way. My fiance and I are planning our wedding on an upcoming Saturday. We have invited really nearly 100 people. We have planned this wedding for months and months. Everything is looking to be perfect for her, I'm sure. Yesterday afternoon, my fiance started making moves on me where his mood was clear that he wanted to have sex. I told him that I wasn't exactly in the mood, and he got irritated because we hadn't had sex for a while, and he felt like I wasn't satisfying his needs. I told him, the very fact that she would say I wasn't satisfying his needs, you can tell that that's already transactional right there. It's obligatory, right? Okay. I told him that I wasn't exactly in the mood. I told him that I'm just not a super high libido sexual person, and he immediately said, "Yeah, a woman who had sex with over 100 men, there's your body count, is definitely low libido." I was absolutely stunned and demanded that he apologize on the spot. Instead, he doubled down, and said that I'm clearly a sexual person, but just not for him. And he's correct. He has had insecurity and low self-confidence issues before in regards to this. Well, yeah, probably rightly so. This caused me to get angry because I told him of all the stuff about my past relationships because I trusted him and I don't want it thrown in my face. When I told him that those sexual encounters happened when I was younger, he yelled at me in a way that I have never heard. Hoarse, cracking, and so loud that the neighbors could hear it. I could hear his voice. And told me that if I was so against the idea of sex now that it would almost never get I would almost never get it after marriage. Again, correct. He then shook his head, shouted, "Fuck all this," in the same voice, and walked out the door. I got a call from the venue 2 hours later asking if they had heard right that they were canceling the ceremony, and reminded me that the deposit could not be refunded. I'm torn and confused. What do I even do?
Who do I call?
Who do I call?
Won't talk to me.
He won't talk to me. He's not answering my calls. And now I don't have to bring up anything for that up with my friends and family, of course, because I've fucked 100 guys. 12 hours ago, I was happy because I was getting married to a guy I'm in love with. And now my future is crashing around me. And it's all because I wasn't in the mood to have sex. Imagine that. Mm-hmm. Too long, didn't read. How do I deal with the insecure fiance? I would say he's.
This is how I assume it's real, because at the end she's like, "How do I deal with it being his problem?" What was his problem anyway? But you see what I mean? Notch count didn't matter. He just realized, like, yeah, she's not excited to be with me. Her idea of making me happy is not even on her radar. So, like, why would you be there? Yeah. The notch count's irrelevant, other than it was like a really good segue into the shouting match, but. Yeah. Whatever. Well,
I love, maybe I read too much into this, but whenever I'm reading, like, maybe it's like neurolinguistic programming, right? But whenever I read words like his needs, that's therapy speak to me. Yeah. And so when I see, well, he was mad at me because I wasn't meeting his sexual needs. I'm like, that means that you look at sex with him as an obligation. That's like duty sex for, like, good Christian wives or something like that. I'm only doing it because, the Bible says I have to suck his dick, right?
Which would have been fine if she did, but she didn't.
Yeah, she didn't, right? Yeah.
So it's like the worst of both worlds.
Well, and then the problem is there's no self-analysis, there's no insight or anything. Like, well, why wasn't I not in the mood? Well, because you don't find him attractive. You don't have any real genuine desire. You might love him. That's completely... it's like, how like women say, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. You can do that. Yeah. I'm in love with you, but I don't want to fuck you, Yeah. And then then after that, it's, first of all, she doesn't want to talk about it with her family and friends. Okay. I can understand that. But then it's, what was she saying? She said, I know what it was. I'm low libido. That's what it was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the dead bedroom speak.
I'm low libido. Yeah, you were with him, and he's not wrong. She's got a history of 100 guys from her college days and everything, and everybody should be cool with that. And it reminded me of course you're going to remember this, the essay that I wrote called, Saving the Best, right? Which was saving the best for last, right? So the guy you marry should be the guy that you have this irresistible desire to fuck all the time. And he should be, at least, if he's not the best sex in the world that you've ever had, he should be approaching it at the very least. He should be somebody you want to fuck, right?
And this isn't the only rejection either. Everybody get it out of your head. That's the one she brought up. But they're guaranteed that's been stewing for months. There's no way it hasn't. Guys don't lose their shit over getting rejected once, unless you're Anthony Johnson or the other guy you were talking about who shot the guy in the Bellagio.
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. And the very fact that he was saying, well, we haven't had sex, they hadn't had sex in a long time, right? And he wanted to get after it, and I wasn't meeting his needs. Oh, why weren't you meeting his needs? Oh, I was too busy like picking out napkins for the wedding ceremony. She was probably preoccupied with the event planning part of it, and just basically blew off her husband because she was too busy doing, choosing colors for whatever
I've already chose the husband. Now I need to choose the flowers.
Right. Well, and then, but the very fact that, first of all, she clearly sees it as an obligation because it's a needs. And then second of all, it's like, oh, I'm low libido. No woman is low libido. I hate that shit. That's just a cop out is what that shit is.
Well, it's the same thing they use therapy for, with that, like they turn a disorder into a disease. Like it's a incapably changeable condition. Like, no, I can't. Low libido. What's the blood test for that, you bitch?
Yeah, I know. How do you, as compared to what? What's the metric for that? On what scale?
It's like right up there with gluten intolerances and bullshit made up science.
What it is, it's made up shit. And it's like, it's funny. It's like you're low libido until you put 2 shots of tequila and your clothes fall off, right? I mean, or it's you're low libido for your husband, but if Jason Momoa walks up and then you want to go take a picture with him at Comic-Con, suddenly you're not low libido anymore, right? It's the holistic method, and that's what kills me about the whole thing is that's the when people ask me what's the difference between like transactional sex and validational sex, that's it. That's it right there, in black and white. And I don't know how else to explain that, but well, if she wasn't feeling like it, then he shouldn't be an asshole. I have to deal with his insecurities. That's not his insecurity.
That's how I know she knows. Everybody knows. That's why you have to build this entire fan fiction headcanon story to justify it not. They fucking know.
Yes.
None of this would be necessary if they didn't know.
Yeah, and then so when we'll get into Coral Osborne's thing here. One thing that kills me is, and I don't, maybe it's the sexologist thing or whatever, but like when women like retcon their sexual experiences, like it just, when did it turn into trigonometry? You know, it's like surgery. It's like, we're gonna put a man on fucking Mars, and this is why I did this, and I must have done that because of this pathology, and da 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 da. I'm like, no, you either wanted to fuck or you didn't want to fuck. You know, it's like David Lee Roth. Everybody wants some. You didn't want some, or you did want some. Why can't it just be as simple as that?
Well, like, I understand the reputation filter. That's honestly why it is, because girls know you're married, you're supposed to have sex with your husband. That makes a good wife, and they want to be a good wife, but they're not doing what they need to do, and so they need to build up all of this stuff to say it's not my fault. It's the low libido virus. It's COVID. Speaking of, it's COVID. He didn't get the vaccine 18 times. That's why we're not doing it.
Sam has sent me this video link 4 times. I got it, Sam. I got the chewed gum. Do you really want us to look at this? Is it that bad? Well, I'll check it out if you want.
Preview it first. Don't watch it right away on stream, because just in case. Never click random links. From friends.
Sammy, go preview that and make sure that's like safe for prime time, because I want to make
all the way to the end. They slip it right at the end, just so you know.
Yeah, the Jesus smuggling.
As a goatsy aficionado, I'm telling you, this is how this stuff works.
Yeah, so like I'm glad we're talking about this. I wanted to get to basics. This is basic right here. Is like the low libido stuff. No, not for you. Add for you at the end of any of the I'm in love, but I'm not in love with you. That's basically what it comes down to, and
that's fine. She's allowed to. Nobody's saying she's forced to do one thing or another, but have some self-respect and do what you need to do. Well, decide the kind of life you want to live.
Well, the medium is the message too, right? I mean, she's not the medium. She's not having sex with him. Okay, so what's the message? She doesn't want to have sex with you. Period.
Yeah. And not just that, she doesn't even feel like, maybe put aside the marriage until we figure it out, like effort. It's not even so much not having sex, but the effort to even get there. If she was self-aware, look, I'm not feeling it. I don't know why I'm not feeling it. I used to have dick all the time. Maybe there's something we need to work on. Let's put the wedding aside for a minute and figure it out. And like, none of that.
You lose 10 pounds. Yeah, exactly. Like that.
None of that. It's like, hey, let's go on Reddit. Like, fuck off.
Yeah. Let's go on Reddit and air this whole thing out, because what kills me is like, she doesn't have the insight to figure that shit out with the husband. But she does have the insight to go post it on Reddit and seek advice from people, like random strangers on Reddit. Really?
Yeah, I trust the guys from the No Work subreddit, their opinion on fucking relationships.
Well, okay, so I'm presuming that the story is true. Okay, so I can only go by what I'm. And by the way, you can only presume that from what you're reading on anything on Reddit or anything on Twitter.
Anywhere.
Yeah. So okay. So Sammy says no, what? No, there's nothing on the video that's going to get me banned.
Or no, don't watch it.
No, I haven't seen it. I didn't think you saw it. No, I haven't seen it yet. No, I have seen it. Thank you. I'd see the link, brother man. Oh, don't play it. Okay. I won't play it. I'll go and check it out later and decide if I want to later on. The title of it is Hey You, Body Count Does Not Matter. Call Catherine Dries. Oh, it's a call-in show. Really? Is it live now? We should call in. Let's fuck things up.
Hi, Kat. Long-time fan, first-time caller. Yeah. Just wanted to say.
I agree with you. Body count doesn't matter if you're into skanks. Yeah. Just go full like Myron Gaines on him or something.
Oh Jesus! No, just throw out random jargon.
No, so I mean the body count thing with this whole story too. It's like, oh, you've had 100 guys. She's in triple digits. She's got more than I do, right? I'm only at 41, 42. But so if she's over 100, then she's into triple digits. She's not low libido. Let's just be honest here. I mean, maybe like also I got
maybe they were all one night stands, starfished every single one of them, and
Right.
that's why she never got a man.
Yeah, or
It doesn't change anything, but it's just interesting to think. How do you practice something 100 times? How do you not get better at it? You know?
Yeah, or not know what you want. Like, why would you
Yeah.
commit to a lifetime of,
Go to McDonald's 100 times, you still don't know if you want nuggets or a burger?
Yeah. And out of those hundreds, like, which guy are you pining for? Like, which was the best one? Because it's clearly not the guy you're going to be marrying, because you would have a different attitude towards all this if that was the case, right? No, I like when people like give, like people like think, just because I'm like the rational male, or I go and I give guys like data sets or statistics or the praxeology, and you probably are as much frustrated with this as I am, is like I was saying before, you can't tell people statistics and data without telling them how to feel about it, right? So when what happens is, like, which is exactly what you and I both do, right? Maybe to our detriment. But if I'm on, like, people when they see me on Access Vegas, they go, I can't believe Rollo's on that. He's really fallen off. You know, I can't believe it. I'm like, no. If you
First off, it's your show. Yeah, you're on it.
Like, if you want, it's a different show. Like, if you want the data-driven, good, you know, like rational male, come 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern every Sunday. I haven't changed the schedule in like 7 years. Okay. You come, that's where you're going to get that. If you want something that's a little more entertaining and fun and lighthearted, and I'm just going to throw shit out there, that's going to be Access Vegas. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to say, oh, Rollo fell off. No, I haven't. I'm still doing the same show, still doing the same stuff. But because I'll throw out data sets, or because I'll throw out stuff and not tell people how to feel, when I get on Access Vegas, and I say, you know, body count really doesn't matter all that much to me. I'm talking from my perspective. I'm not talking from the Red Pill's perspective. I'm talking from like me. If you're going to ask me personally, what do I think about this? Then you want my opinion. Then I'm going to make a judgment call. And now it's about how I feel. And people think that that's advice, right?
See, that's the thing that irritates me too, because I think people get the impression that this is a cargo cult and you're a demagogue looking for, like, no.
Oh, well,
there's a body of work and then there's a personal opinion. Yeah, there's going to be some differences.
And I have no problem making that separation between the praxeology of the red pill and like what I would do. Like, so when people go, I can't believe Rollo surrounds himself with all these, you know, these OnlyFans girls and porn stars and all these, you know.
I asked that once, in fairness.
You did. Yeah. and what I say is like, well, just, you know, just because I'm hanging out with these people how does that invalidate what I say on Sundays, right? And the answer is it doesn't. It's just that, like, whenever like people say, well, what does Rollo think about body count? Quite honestly, I don't give two flying fucks about body count. Or what does Rollo think about these red flags? What tattoos on a girl, right? I can't believe these girls have tattoos. Dude, as I said before, red flags are green flags if you're not the marrying type, you know. Like, I would say that would probably be a good sign for you if you didn't, if you were just about, like, you know, hooking up and everything else, if that's where you're at, right? I have a tat right here. Oh my god, that's like stickers, bumper stickers on a Lamborghini, you know. It's like it's this I don't know, this whole.
But we don't need to shit on you for your opinions on women. Yeah. Because you love Ibanez guitars and you want female space marines. So who cares what you think?
I don't have a single Ibanez hanging up right now. So
I know, because you knew I was coming. You're like, get that shit out of here.
No, now
get that chorus pedal out of here. Get those out of here.
I still got my
I got to tell him I'm cutting my hair next stream.
One of these days, I just got to do a casual stream and just go, what do you want to talk about? Just talk about anything. Don't talk about Reddit. Talk about anything, right?
Dude, it's freeing. You should try it. I started a new channel for talking about storytelling in movies. Different audience. It is a breath of fresh air. The writing fiction has been the best thing for me because you made it so easy. Promise Keeper. Dog Walker is just take a Promise Keeper, put him into situations, and have him get through it as a character arc. Have him go through his red pill thing. And then you don't mention any of the jargon. It's a perfect character arc right there. This one here, technically it's cyberpunk. But it's family creation. You got a divorced guy, an incel who wants a harem of women, a single mom who's at her last days, and then you just put that into a cyberpunk environment and you build a story around it. This stuff is, I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's like, it's there and nobody's doing it.
Oh God, I gotta finish my story. No,
I wasn't gonna ask.
It will be the first thing I get to once I'm done with Reignite. No, I was gonna say after reading the Dog Walker, like I'm like, God damn it! I wish I had a better relationship with the Savos now, and I wish Glenn Lawrence hadn't poisoned that one too, because you could talk to those guys and they would easily be able to turn that into something you could like market to Netflix. And I think it
like
would
a screenplay. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think it would be pretty freaking good. So, guys, if you're watching, if you're not talking to me, talk to Ryan at the very least, because I think that there's definitely something there. What happened to Alex from DatePsych? Divorce? No, he's never married, so that's not divorce.
What was the relation? It was like, was the dude married to the girl and he cheated, or was he married to the girl and the guy took her?
Right. I'm probably gonna butcher this. This is the telephone game again. Remember we talked about that before. From my best sources of information, apparently somebody dug up some dirt on Alex from DatePsych, and his present girlfriend used to be married to a black dude, and apparently he poached her away from the black dude. She divorced the guy and then took up with Alex. And some people are saying, well, doesn't that make him a Chad? And I'm like, I don't know. I think
why is he so offended and hiding? I don't know.
Yeah, why is that? He hasn't ever since that story broke. Like, he just basically took his account private, and no one has heard anything from him since then. And I don't know if it's because of the girlfriend or whatever, but
I have a theory. I bet you anything. The ex-husband, whatever. I bet you they met on his goofy little scientific dating thing.
Oh, on Keeper.
That would be so funny.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Luigi, the UA, whatever.
Oh, that's right.
He was on that. He was on that site, and he knew all those guys too. He was there are several exchanges between Luigi and Alex from DatePsych, Will Costello, and the rest of these guys too, who are all part of that Keeper thing, right? He was part
guys,
of
you made me into a better man. Excuse me for a minute. I'm gonna go kill the CEO of my healthcare company.
And now you know what it was like to have to be Anthony Johnson when Roman Clay was going out there. And
Dude, do you remember Clear and Present Danger, the Harrison Ford movie?
Yeah.
Do you remember that scene where he's trying to get the reciprocity files and they're like deleting them and trying to print them at the same time? It felt like that, trying to download these podcasts as they're deleting them in real time. I need 4 hours of Zach Small talking about how he's the future for men.
Just disappeared from the server. I know.
Yeah. Oh.
So am I right? I think I got that right. So the guy. It's
close enough.
Okay. The very fact that it was a black guy and it's a white chick, everybody wants to, what they're going to say. I'm not going to use that word because I'm not going to use that word, but you know what I mean. And so that was number one. Number two is like, what does that say about I don't know, assortative mating or mate switching hypothesis or all of this shit that he used to run me up?
Well, wasn't that most of his attacks on you was that you were kind of a degenerate piece of shit?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah. Oh, hey, he's just a podcaster who hangs out with porn stars and OnlyFans girls and I'm like, yeah, well.
Why can't he listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson lectures like me, a real man?
I hate
science.
I'm glad I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised when people come after me for stuff like that. Now I have a dedicated group of guys who'll come and say, you realize Rollo's been married for 29 years, right? You realize Rollo has a kid. You realize Rollo has been in this for 25 years, whatever. You realize, like they don't know. Like I'm the most conservative. I should be a tradcon, man. I'm the last of the clean livers, man. But because I'm on.
Yeah, you don't drink.
I don't even drink.
I've never seen you smoke. Not even like during the cigar bar. You never. I don't think you were even like, let me hold this big dick in my mouth. You weren't even that.
I'll smoke a cigar occasionally, but it's like a special occasion. I will. I'll smoke. Aaron Clary. I'll smoke a cigar with Aaron Clary. No homo.
You won't go on a hike with him though.
I will.
Coward.
I would go on a hike with him, but it would have to
I went on a hike with him into like 3 states over.
What the fuck was that?
What's your excuse? I don't know. He's just like, we're going on a hike. And I'm like, sure. And then next thing you know, I'm in Colorado or something.
Hey, hey, Rollo, I'm going to fly into Las Vegas. Ah, cool. Where are you? I'm in Colorado. How did you get to Colorado?
I don't know.
Clary drove me here for 20 hours.
Yeah.
Because there was this one great place he wanted to go walk around in the dirt.
Oh, dude, the hills go down and then there's a cliff. I'm like, and he's like, come on over, check out. I'm like, no, man, I'm fine from here, 20 feet away. I've seen way too many videos of guys who get tripped and then next thing you know, no.
See, if you would have come to me, we would have gone to Hakkasan, we would have gone to Omnia, we would have gone to Zook, we would have gone to
I haven't been to the zoo. That'd be fun.
Zook. All of those are nightclubs.
Oh.
Well, it took you to all the most degenerate. We'll take you to the Sapphire. We'll take you to Peppermint Hippo. We'll take you to Spearmint Rhino.
Dude, I'm old. I'm tired.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I got it in me for that anymore.
You'd have it in you for one night.
Maybe one. I definitely wouldn't have anything in me for the next 3 nights though.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to do that. We take you to the dome. We take you to the Ferris wheel.
It's more so about just seeing and hanging with you guys. That's really it. If I wanted to go to Vegas to be a degenerate, I can go anytime.
Do you play craps at all?
Yeah,
do you gamble craps whatsoever?
I don't, because that was my parents' divorce. But at the same time, if I just go there $50, I just assume it's gone and then treat it like I'm paying for a movie.
Never play more than you can afford. But like, I'll take $300 out and go play craps. And if I walk out with $1,000, I'm good. That's the only thing you're talking to a guy who, like, before I got into wine and spirits, I used to do marketing for casinos. So
I remember Red Flaming Tits.
Yes. And the only thing occasionally blackjack, but like, craps is the only game I will play. I don't play slot machines. I don't play anything else. God forbid, don't play roulette. I don't play Pai Gow. I don't play any of that shit. I don't play poker.
Well, yeah, there's more interactions with craps. I get it.
I'll play poker with friends. I don't play poker.
I think craps is like the only gambling you do where you're like rooting for other people that have the dice. Every other game, it's more combative.
It's social. It's fun. Everybody's encouraging you. You'll make new friends. The thing that, like, I don't know, it just struck me as like, if you're like, playing a slot machine or tapping out, whatever, it's like masturbation, man. I would much rather have like somebody across this, from me and say, hey, how's it going? Like the dealers want you to win, because if you win, they get tipped. So they're on your side. They'll teach you. They'll show you how the game works.
I'll ask you to blow on my dice and you'll do it.
Yeah.
You're just that kind of guy.
Oh God, I have a story for you.
Whose dice you blowing now?
No, not me. Not me.
Uh-huh.
It was her.
Your other friend. Roger Tamarso.
Yes. Okay, let me get to the rest of these here. I'll blast through these. Hey, Frollo. I haven't heard that in a while. Frollo. Have you spoken to Cappy lately? How is he? He's fine. He's in South Dakota. In fact, my good friend Jason Hartman went to go visit him, and they wanted me to come and see them, but I was in Tahoe when they asked me to go. Don't worry, I didn't blow them off because I hate all my friends secretly. Sir, Mr. Jason, I didn't get the memo. I didn't know we were showing love to Roller today. Yeah, please do. Show me some love. Roller. Rational Redneck, I can confirm that I am a Russian bot. No, you're not. You're not fooling anybody. You know how I know you're not? Because you don't have a bunch of numbers behind your name. I'd rather watch F1 movie 1,000 times rather than Superman portraying him as a bumbling, humanizing, goofy is a retorted. Yes. Yeah. F1 is getting really good reviews. I haven't seen it yet. I'm kind of waiting for it to come out on Apple movies. I guess
I've heard it's Brad Pitt Top Gun.
Yeah, it is. From what I've seen, everybody keeps telling me it's a full on, like, very masculine movie. So I will let you know when I see it.
It's funny now that the movies that would have been like blockbuster bargain bin rentals are now like the movie of the year.
Yeah, I mean, if you can take the same energy as like Predator, or like one of these old action movies from the 80s, man. If you could do a Die Hard, if you could do a Red Pill Die Hard, fuck. You'd be in. Oh, you know what I watched? He
left his wife and just left Nakatomi early on. The movie would have been over in 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. He's like, fuck it. I gotta get out of here. No, you know what I watched was Heads of State with John Cena and Elba. No, Idris Elba. God, what the hell was the name like that? But it was great. John Cena plays the president of the United States, and Idris Elba plays the prime minister of Great Britain, right? And it turns them into like sort of these unlikely action heroes because they both are like on. They get Air Force One gets hijacked.
Oh, nice.
And they have to bail out, like they have to like bail out of there with parachutes, and they're like down behind enemy lines, like they end up in like Belarus, you know.
It was just their way back home. Huh.
It's so campy and so unbelievable, but it's so good. It's so, and if you know anything about like John Cena and his like wrestling career, there's all these side jokes that you only get if you know who John Cena is, and it was good. It was really good. I gave it 2 thumbs.
Add that to the list.
I watched it on the 4th of July. It was great.
Oh yeah, Happy America Day. I forgot to mention.
Oh, thank you for recognizing us, oh Canadian, oh Canada. Yes.
Well, at least you have a country. That's all I'm saying.
We do. I told you, man. Come to Vegas. We're a sanctuary city for you guys.
I thought they got rid of that.
No, but you're in our club, so you can be cool. We'll
good.
Yes, well, you could seek asylum here. You just come to Vegas. I defect. Rational Redneck. Every guy is just one woman away from the red pill. That is true. Even if you're Patrick Bet David. The Rational Trucker. Gosh, everybody's the Rational. See? Maybe I do have a cult, Ryan. Last week, BPD or PBD was a fine example of Kevin Samuel's sign language. Yes, it was. Shame, insult, guilt, and need to be right. Adam needs to run. Yeah. Did you see?
Was that him shitting on Sosnick for finding a woman or whatever?
Yeah. So I did a whole breakdown on that.
It's the most convoluted soapboxing I've ever seen. It's like he didn't even look at him. He's like,
I'm like,
you know, the one though where somebody's appealing to the audience, and you're like, fuck off, man. I'm right here. Turn talk.
I love it when like guys who are essentially charlatans like that want to tell you about respect. I'm like, there's nobody on your staff that has been with you longer, that has been part of your team longer than Adam Sosnick, right? And you're gonna say, oh, it's disrespectful. No, what's being disrespectful is you fucking around with the guy who's been with you from day one.
Well, wasn't the big thing too the other guy, the Jamie on his team? He did something to hook him up, and that guy still. Like he's doing all the things that he said. He's still not with anybody.
No. Oh God. Okay. So people are wondering why I haven't been on Minect very much. Minect is the app that is like sort of this advice app that PBD and Valuetainment put together. I don't know how this is even possible, quite honestly, but like apparently PBD was trying to hook up Vinny, Vinny's the comedian that's on that show.
The one. Yeah.
And apparently PBD was trying to hook up Vinny through Minect to get him a girlfriend or a wife or whatever it is that Vinny's trying to do, right? And I was like, so Minect is your way of like hooking somebody up, and you're gonna tell Adam Sosnick that he's out in the clubs, and he's like, Adam goes out and does stuff, right? I mean, he's very social and very active, and Adam is just saying, here's what I see in the dating market. And I'm like, well, if it's so difficult to get Vinny a girlfriend using Minect, how is Adam wrong? How is that? You're trying to get him, you don't have any better ideas than using Minect to get Vinny a girlfriend, and Adam is the problem here? I don't think so.
Well,
I think
have you seen that painting in his house? You know he's clueless.
Oh my God, dude. Should I remind everybody about that?
The one, it's like dogs playing poker, but it's PBD with like Gandhi or whatever.
So and you could see that, by the way, this is public knowledge. This is no trade secret, but
capital K Kitsch.
For whatever reason, PBD about 2.5 years ago, he did this video. It was a tour of his $25 million house that is right on the coast in Fort Lauderdale. He's got a slip for a yacht. He starts the video driving up on his Bugatti motorcycle. I didn't even know they made motorcycles. He's rolling up on a Bugatti motorcycle. And so he's showing you around his house and everything, and the kid's this, and he's trying to show you how he's a great father, and you don't get to play with Legos until you do your homework, that kind of shit. And then you go into his study, and in his study he had this mural painted by an artist, hand painted by an artist, and it's him in this kind of library kind of room, like this, like a personal library, not a library.
Mm-hmm.
And he's surrounded by, most of these guys are dead, but he's surrounded by all of the great, what he thinks are all the great minds of the 20th, 21st century, right? Or maybe even before that. He's got Abraham Lincoln, Albert Einstein, Tupac
Trump
Shakur.
was in it too, wasn't he? Yeah,
Tupac Shakur, this guy who was a F1 driver or something like that, he holds in really high esteem. Abraham Lincoln. I'm trying to think of the rest of but think of all the luminaries. Like
just a mishmash of people from all different walks of life that have nothing to do with each other.
And here he is in the center of all of this, like, and they're all like having this conversation with Patrick Bet David because he's one of those guys. He belongs in that club of all these, these genius minds and stuff like that. And what did I tell you? I told you what I'm going to do is I should have it done here. The next place I move into, I'm going to have my music room or my studio. I'm going to paint a big mural, and it's going to be me in the middle of Jimi Hendrix, Randy Rhoads, Eddie Van Halen, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton, all these great guitarists, and I'm going to be right in the middle of it. Like I should also be amongst the greats as well, because there's nothing wrong with having high self-esteem like that, right? Oh my God! Could you get more self-aggrandizing?
It's crazy too, because he's a Persian guy, isn't he?
Yeah, and
he looks exactly the kind of American new money that Europeans make fun of.
Oh my God! I could not believe that.
Yeah,
you can see that. It's in that video. You can see that. Yeah,
once is enough.
Yeah,
I would have rather he bared his asshole on the screen. That's all I'm saying.
Surprised you remember that. Question: how would you optimize frame while taking care of 6 disabled family members? I have a mentally disabled brother and have been trying to get more work to help my mother take care of him. Well, your frame is your burden of performance. This is something I've been writing about in the Reignite book. All this stuff is connected. Okay, so frame is connected to burden of performance. Your respectability is connected to burden of performance. Your burden of performance also is dependent on your mental point of origin, right? So all of the stuff that I get into in Reignite is really shows you the synergies and the connections between all these. What we up to this point we've kind of like kept as separate topics or separate items, right? So like money, muscles, and game, all of those are synergistic. And I hate using that word because it sounds schmaltzy, but it's really true. So really, essentially, you trying to be a better person or trying to like make more money, you're improving on your burden of performance so that you can take care of your disabled brother, or to allow your mom to take. And so what that is that's what I call unavoidably responsible, right? It's a noble cause. So part of your frame is your drive to succeed so that your mom or you can take care of your disabled brother, right? So technically speaking, part of my frame is I retired my wife 4 years ago. She no longer has to work. I still financially take care of my daughter occasionally and on certain things. It doesn't end at 18, by the way.
Thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Joe Biden. I also take care of my mother-in-law and her little dog. And I have 2 dogs myself. Sam Bada, who I take care of as well. He's when he wanted to read the books for the first 3 books, I was like, yes, please do. I still have a royalties deal with Sam Bada, and he makes money off of the Audible because he got into a hit and run situation, and is still suffering from the health, outcome as a result of that. I'm happy to do it. As I keep saying, if I can help, I will help you. You don't know how many people I have just simply given money to, just because I don't loan money. I give money to people who I think are worth giving. Now that sounds like I'm glossing myself and, oh, you're really, Rollo really wants credit for everything. No, I'm not looking for credit here. I'm just saying that's part of my frame. So that's how I would say, how do you optimize your frame? Incorporate that of being unavoidably responsible into the fact that you're a really swell guy and you understand responsibility, you understand accountability, and if you can help people, you do, especially when they're family. Go ahead.
I'll hit it from a bit of a different angle, similar though. I mean, we've got it's simple assertiveness, right? And the 2 ones that are mattering here, you have the right to be independent of the goodwill of others before coping with them, because a lot of people who are sick aren't necessarily good people, and they may be family. And I don't know your situation very well.
They want to get well. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Do they want to get well, or are they using us as a way to suck you in? So but they'll say like, oh, remember at your birthday when you were 6, or parents love to do that. It's like, oh, when you were a child, I changed your diaper. You owe me.
You owe me. Yeah.
You're allowed to be independent of the goodwill of others before coping with them. You also have the right to judge if you're responsible for finding solutions to other people's problems. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying don't give and don't do, but if you can't give without expectations of reciprocity, then don't give. And look, I get it. It's family. We've had guys in my community who have had to let family go because they just refused to be anything other than like a leech. Like, you don't want to be an enabler either. So yeah, if everybody's making good efforts and they've always been good to you and you're good to them and it's family and all these good things, and you can give without expectation, then yeah, absolutely. But if you can't, it's okay to say like, I'm not capable of being this guy and walking away. They may get mad. They're allowed to get mad. They're allowed to disown you. They're allowed to do all this stuff. But really, at the end, you have to think like, it does you no good to set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. And I've just seen too many examples of guys, and everybody's got a good sob story, and they're very heartfelt, and they're very sincere. And sometimes it's just, I can't. And that's all there is. I can't or I won't, and that's fine.
Yeah. Sometimes the best way to help people is not to help people.
Yeah.
Help them get their own shit together. Yeah, and I've been guilty of that myself too. As you know, it's like I'll help, and then it's like at some point I'm going to get burned for something like that, or I want to be able to. Like I said, I want to see the best in people, and I forget
to your fault, to your detriment. Absolutely.
There's a character, and I forget it's a female character in Atlas Shrugged, and she always wants to see the best in people. She always wants to believe that they're all going to have the best interest for everybody else, and they simply don't. Yeah. But you're sort of dedicated to this idea that like you're always looking for the good in people, and that if I have one failing, that's it. I'm always looking for the best in people, and it has burned me more times than not. And so sometimes like you kind of have to like you said, protect your own assets. Like you come for, don't set yourself on fire for other people. Just
know the limits of the situation. And that's when it comes to frame, that's it. If you don't have a solid worldview, all the things we talk about, mental point of origin, this is the kind of situation where it matters, because then you don't have to ask, how do you do that? Because I know how much goodwill I'm willing to accept in caring for others. I know how much of their problems I'm going to take responsibility for. All these things, and you've learned them through experience. You've practiced boundary enforcement in all these little things, and they all add up to a moral and ethical framework, and that is your frame. And then you just apply it to new situations. And then as things come up that cross your boundaries, you learn to adjust it slightly.
Yeah. I have a question for you. I'll give it to you later on, but let me run through these real quick. Hi, was Napoleon Bonaparte a beta male? He begged his wife, Josephine, not to, by the way, Josephine, single mommy, but she did cheat on him anyway, I guess that's
she did cheat on him anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
I know. Do you think Napoleon was crying about how, oh man, I wish he seems to have been all right? He created the metric system.
Napoleon was if I had to peg him and categorize him, I would say he is a blue pill alpha. He was very much alpha when it came to brilliant strategic mind. One of the most brilliant. We're still studying him today. Okay. But as far as his personal life is concerned, very, very blue pill, right? You could say, well, he was a beta. Well, you can still be alpha and be very blue pill, right? In fact, they make some of the worst white knights you'll ever want to meet. So,
and can I bring up something that grinds my gears about the calling him a beta male thing?
Sure.
I think too many guys get the Andrew Wilson, Vox Day, dark orthodox bro thing mixed up with the red pill thing. They both use alpha and beta, but they're different applications. It was Vox who started this social sexual hierarchy where there's alphas and betas and charlies and deltas and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's orthodox. The red pill things, alpha was sexual desire, beta was relationship comfort. That was it. So I know a lot of guys use them interchangeably, and I think by doing that, you do yourself a disservice.
Yeah. And the reason why they do that is because they've been sold on the idea of Sigma. That's why.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually awesome, but nobody knows.
They want that. There's never been a more secret king classification in my life. And what's funny is it's was it Nick Krauser is the one who came up with the Secret King thing, but it was Vox Day who came up with gamma males, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so I've heard Vox Day talk about Secret Kings. I've heard Nick Krauser. Well, when Nick Krauser was
And dude, on Substack, that's all Vox talks about are gammas. All he talks about.
Yes. You know, what's funny is I had to, because people kept asking me about like, hey man, I'm a Sigma. I'm like, no, you're not. The fact that you're calling yourself a Sigma means you're not a Sigma. Sigmas would never call themselves Sigmas because they would be completely unaware. And by the way, there's no such thing as a Sigma. It's just an asocial, antisocial alpha. It's like Batman.
Well, it's contextual. It's like if Eddie Van Halen went to church. He may not be the coolest guy at the church, and everybody's like, why is this guy here? He seems really cool, but he's not the cool guy from the church. That's what Sigma means. You're in a different venue than what you're used to, but you're clearly the guy that runs whatever venue he's in.
Everybody wants to feel special about themselves.
Yeah.
And that nothing makes an autistic kind of spurred personality feel better about themselves than to tell them that they're set apart from everybody else. Like, that's why I'm neurodivergent. No, you are autistic. And you
What's
have
that meme about the axe that's got a metal handle and a wooden blade? And it's like, just because you're unique doesn't mean you're useful.
Yeah, exactly. I have that too. I haven't used that in a while. Yeah, that's true. But no, it's like I will say this. I did go back over because part of the sociosexual hierarchies I've included in Reignite because I want people to understand the difference between like my abstractions between alpha and beta. And then people say, oh, I'm a Sigma, I'm this, I'm that, right? Because they don't understand sociosexual hierarchies. People using the term Sigma have no idea where all that came from. They don't know it came from Vox Day. They've never seen Vox Day's outlines on it. They heard of it on a channel, on a faceless video channel called Sigma Mindset, or
the picture of Batman.
Pinnacle of and it's all like Greco-Roman statues walking away from women and stuff. Like, I'm a Sigma. I
gotta give credit to Hotep on that one, Brian. He's the one that kind of showed me, if you really want to do good in this space, and it's something we don't do, you should. And he showed me the PDF on it and everything from the original guy did. I can't remember his name, where it was all you need to do is whatever your niche is, you convince the audience that whatever they're doing is exactly what they should be doing. Right. And the problem is somebody else's problem. Yeah. And you understand. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. It makes you feel special. That's why, like, I know I've said this before. It's like, I don't think there are trans people. Trans is not a thing. I think you're just homosexual and you're boring. And you need something to make you feel special. So you're a demi boy, or you're a whatever it is, you're who knows what the fuck you are, right? I think the more we globalize and the more we see people living it's bullshit, but these lavish lifestyles or these fictitious lifestyles on Instagram, the more we need some new designation to make us feel special about ourselves. And as soon as you wrap your head around that, that's when you will feel special.
Yeah.
So here, let me grab these. Fiance has the hots for me, fine, but shows disrespect at times. Oh boy. I told her, I guess we are done unless she can commit to a respectful relationship. Thoughts? What does respect look like to you? What does that mean?
Treats me nice, makes me feel good. I guarantee it.
Well, then, then the guys at the gym must respect me a lot because I feel pretty good when I walk in there. But is niceness respect? That's the thing is, like, I brought this up a million times. You know how I always say that there's a difference. Respect is a gendered concept, right? There's the female version of respect, which is everybody deserves respect, which is essentially worthless because it costs you nothing, right?
Well, yeah, now they're talking like professional courtesy or politeness.
Yeah,
those are different things.
Everybody deserves, common courtesy, right? Yeah. And then for men, it's merited. What makes you respectful or respected, right? What makes you deserving of respectability? What makes you deserving of respect? What have you done? What is your, again, burden of performance? What have you done that I should respect you for, right? What's where are you on this? You want to talk about how men organize society through hierarchies? It's based on respect. It's based on like a performative achievement respect, right? That's completely different concept from what women's respect is. So I've been kind of toying with like writing an essay about this, and Matt, I want your opinion on this. I don't think it's possible for women to respect men because of
not the way you think that means.
Because of that difference in the concept of respect. Because even if the woman says, well, I do respect you, but you respect everybody, right?
You've already written this article. You and Roosh were arguing about this in 2012.
Yeah. Respect.
And he was very lucid at the time. I remember that with like the women don't understand. It was honor and respect. He's like, women don't understand the concept.
Yeah.
It's meaningless.
Not in the terms that men do, right? They again, like for women, it's this egalitarian form of respect, and it's worthless. It's like, who cares? You respect everybody. Why would I want your respect? Because your respect is not based on anything that has to do with merit, admiration, duty, honor, loyalty, whatever. It's like, it doesn't make any difference if something's too common, the price goes down, right?
Yeah.
And so
and it's nothing new. Ian Ironwood talked with about this too. It's a biological thing. The way guys form hierarchies: initial fitness testing, wholehearted acceptance. Women are like a crab bucket: initial acceptance, and then constant backstabbing and hierarchy posturing.
Yeah, well, that's
you put respect into that. That's exactly how it filters through in the both of them.
Well, I'll see these female dating coaches, and yes, I know, don't take advice from female dating coaches, but like one consistent theme is like, well, men need to feel appreciated and respected, and that's more important than sex. No, it's not. Sex is more important than all of that, because respect, from a female perspective, is relatively worthless if that's the definition of respect. And that's why I've been kind of kicking that idea around right now.
I mean, the sex is the how to get there. That's the I don't
You know
need to use a hammer to hit this nail. Just hit the nail. Like, what?
How does she show you respect? She sucks my dick really well.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And it's just, or it's like love languages or something like that. Mike is so funny when we talk about that. He's like, you know who loves gifts? Everybody. You know, like acts of service? Everybody.
Yeah.
You know, was it? I don't know what the rest of them are, but like, it's like
no guy says my love language is sexual frustration. Nobody says that.
My love language is oral sex, right? Yeah. Thigh gap. That's my love language. Yeah.
Spinners.
Yeah, spinners is my love language. Let's see here. When does it become fruitless to investigate a woman's past if it's likely she will end up lying anyways? Well, here's when it becomes fruitless: when you give it so much importance that you would try to in the first place. Why would you want, like, if you're already with this woman, you should have the
eyeballs to see it.
Eyeballs to see it, right? You should have the presence of mind to be a good judge of character. Why, if you're with this woman and you think, oh man, I think she has a really bad sexual past, why are you with her in the first place? Yeah. Like, if you think that, if you suspect that,
and if you think that matters to you,
you don't need to go snooping around. You just don't do it, right? Or
and it's not like it's hard to find. Like, you may not know how many people, but you'll know when you meet a girl and then her Facebook profile has 3 photos on it and it's been out since 2008. You're like, I recognize somebody who's deleted a history. Yeah, if she's not, if she just moved here after spending her 20s in New York City, it's like, do the math, man. You know.
Yeah. Well, like, and the other thing is, like, why would a woman's, well, what is a woman's past? Is she churning butter in the Amish Dutch country in Pennsylvania? Is that her past? Like, well, what's her past? It's funny to me, like, we use, her past. If you just say past, it's presumed that you mean, she's got this sordid OnlyFans. She was an escort and she was a sex worker and she, did foot porn or some shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Well, what's her past? She's going to lie. Is a woman going to lie about her past if she comes from churning butter in some dumb Amish outfit for most of her life? No, she's not. Can you determine that from how she behaves and how she looks and how she acts? Yes, you can. Well, by order of degree, you should be able to figure other things out too. And the other thing that gets me is I love it how guys always say, Rollo, how do I vet a girl for marriage? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I thought you didn't think I thought you thought marriage was the worst thing a man could possibly do.
Dude, I hate vetting. I got to redo that article. I had the one on why vetting sucks. Sorry, keep going. I'm cutting you off.
Are you anti-marriage or are you for marriage? Well, I think it's a bad thing and you shouldn't get the state involved and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, then why do you care?
Yeah.
Who cares? Who cares?
Well, that's the thing too, right? The vetting doesn't work. I hate vetting as an external thing. I had an old article, it was like 7 different reasons why it didn't work. Like it's a snapshot when you're checking for longitudinal behavior. You're basing it on a moral principle that's probably not your own. It was given to you by the women in your life, your preacher, whatever. It just generally doesn't work. People have narcissistic masks that stay up for a year and a half. If you vet somebody, they can easily pass it because they know what you want and they just deliver it. The whole point is internal. Like, how many times you got to say mental point of origin until guys realize it's not about her past, it's about your boundaries. What is it I want? What is it I am willing to put up with if the price is right? And what is a hard no for me? It doesn't have to be a reasonable list, a rational list, or anything. It just has to be your list, and you have to be willing to accept that people will come and go based on it. Then you don't have to vet. It's just boundaries. Does she cross any of your boundaries for an extended period of time? And if the answer is no, then go do what you want. In fact, I remember the big reason, this is my first girlfriend, became my wife now, a common law wife of 14, 15 years, however many years it is. I lost count. The reason I even wanted to settle down with her is because I was sitting in Vancouver. I even put it in my book. Sitting in Vancouver, we just had a bondage party with her, and I realized for the last year we had been dating, she had never once given me a red flag on anything. Never lied, cheated, nothing. And I'm like, fuck it, let's give it a shot. And I was dating multiple women at the time, right? But that's it. It had nothing to do with her past. It was about my boundaries, and she didn't cross a single boundary. So I'm like, why wouldn't I? Give it a shot. And as far as I can tell, it's the best way to do it because it's worked for me and a few other guys that I knew from the Married Red Pill did the same thing.
Well, you already know this, because I've said this a million times. It's like like a relationship is not turnkey, right?
Yeah.
It's that you don't find the perfect relationship. You make that relationship, right?
Yeah.
And again, that doesn't mean like, the relationships are constant work. No, they're really a good relationship. Effortless, but it's
what's the right word to use there though? Because you're right. It's not that it's work. It's not that it's effort. It's not that it's hard.
Well, like I have a really good relationship with my wife because not only we're a good click, we're a good match together, just physically and mentally, and just sort of like, we're on the same page. But now on July 20th, it'll be 29 years with my wife. And I've actually have 30 years of shared history with my wife.
Yeah.
And I don't share that. I don't have the only person I have a longer history with is my brother. That's it. And I have a kid with her. I have memories, and we laugh about shit that from when we first met kind of stuff still. And so, but I don't share that with anybody else. And so that's as a result of, developing a relationship, maturing a relationship. It's like curating a relationship together.
That might be the word. That might be the word.
And being good compliments to one another. I've explained it as like, I know what it is. Kyle, who's my producer, Kyle, Miguel's brother. He said this one time, that this is absolute genius. I'm going to steal this wholesale from him. My wife and I have a PvE relationship, not a PvP. You know what I mean? Like player versus environment versus player. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he goes, yeah, it's because you have a PvE relationship with your wife. And I'm like, you're kind of right. Because it's a co-op, man. It's because it's you against the environment. It's you against the computer. It's you against the narrative. It's you against, you're cooperating against the world, right? Instead of being PvE, where it's like, how many times can I kill this guy and then sit on the spawn site? And I'm like, that kind of makes sense. And I used to describe it as like playing tennis, mixed doubles, right? You can't win the game if you can't hit the ball across the net, if you're hitting it at each other. Right?
It's what do you want on your burrito?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, you don't know this one. My girl and I, we don't do it often, but every now and then we'll have like a fight. We're mad at each other. It's usually over nothing. She storms out of the house, and then I'll get a phone call 3 minutes later. I'm at the burrito place. What do you want on your burrito? So like, even we're mad and fighting with each other, we're still like, well, we still got dinner to worry about. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's what's on the burrito.
That's why I laugh.
But I like it.
Like one of the things I have a real tough time with Dr. Orion Taraban is especially his outlook on marriage. It's like, oh yeah, some guys need to be married. I'm like, well, you're not married, so
some guys need to be in prison. So what?
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is like a lot of people, like I think guys like that think that marriage is this constant shit test. It's like just one shit test after the next. I'm like, yeah, if you're
not good at it.
Yeah, if you're in a PvP relationship, sure, I can totally understand how that is. But if you're in a PvE relationship, it's a different story at that point. And I don't think, but the only concept people have is PvP. They don't understand PvE. And so when he's talking about that, I'm like, no, first off, because he thinks it's a constant shit test, it's constant work. And I've always said a good relationship is effortless. And like you guys do the what do you want on your burrito? I can count on the fingers of one hand how many times I've had a really knockdown fight with my wife, and it never lasts more than 10 hours, maybe if that, you know. It doesn't last for days. It's not like this constant state of resentment. Somebody, either she checks herself or I check myself or whatever else it is. And it's just like, and we just go and move on, right?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want? Like the day-to-day shit that you got to get done, right? And,
Well, and you know Archwinger, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got his Substack's going really well. He put it really great too, where it was people treat you as shittily as you let them. And I'd argue for a lot of these ones, I don't know about everybody else you're talking about here or in chat or whatever, but if your wife is constantly fucking battling you, it's probably because she can, and you let her get away with it. And I don't mean like you stomp your feet and have a temper tantrum, but like if it works, she's going to do it. If she finds I yell at you and I get my way, anytime she wants her way, she'll yell at you.
Oh.
If every time you assert yourself, she cries and then you back off, she's going to cry every time you make her feel bad because it works. So you have to stop letting these things work. Give her the tools to be a good partner for you. Don't encourage the worst behavior. Too many guys do that. They encourage the worst behavior from their wives, usually because they think they're helping.
Yeah. Or
I would argue that. Yeah.
Or they think that apologizing is a form of game. Like,
Jesus!
I'm vulnerable, and I'm gonna be conciliatory. I'm gonna be magnanimous here. I'm going to, or apologize, and they think that that's a form of game. It's not.
Yeah.
It's actually anti-game. It's anti-seductive.
If I supplicate to her, then she'll definitely suck my tail. Like that's not how it works.
Instead of apologize, that's why, like in the 16 Commandments of Poon, you get one sorry every year. That's it. You don't get.
I thought it was 2 lifetime sorries and 1 for any pet that dies.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was basically not many.
Yeah, you can only use a sorry every once, or very rarely, right? It's usually mistakes were made. Let me
It's so
rifle through
manipulative. Oh yeah.
CHD Cappy can out hike Joe Rogan any day. Yeah, that's not a problem. I believe that, actually. Hi Rollo, just want to say thank you, man. Thank you, Omar. Much appreciated, brother, man. Zook's kind of like a zoo for humans. If you're on the main floor and not behind the DJ, it is. I've never been on the floor in Zook. I've always been behind the DJ.
I've never been on the floor at Zook either.
Yet you get to see the raw dating scene on full display. Here's to Ryan and Rollo Zoo Fund. Thank you. This is Zook. Zook costs a lot more than that, although I get it for free. So when are you selling tickets to Access Vegas? I want the VIP package. You don't have to buy anything. You just show up, Mr. Jason. I'll put you in the room. Hell, we might even put you on the show. Come to Vegas Couch. We've got cookies and coffee. Come to the dark side.
Clary don't cook. You know that?
Oh, don't forget the Rumble Super Chats again. Sorry. Sam, can you go grab those for me? Because I would have to open another window for that. But yeah, we'll get to them. I did start Rumble Super Heartfelt. Yeah, okay, it's coming up.
I don't have the video here to show you.
Calling yourself a Sigma means you want to be an anime protagonist. That's true. Thank you, Jake Duke, for $10. What fiction books was Ryan talking about? What is the author's name?
Oh, the author's name is R. Stone. He's a good guy.
Fantastic.
This is the one I'm talking about, Dog Walker.
Dog Walker.
The first, not only the first red-pilled fiction out there, it's also one of the best contemporary fictions written for men. It's 15 chapters, and I guarantee you'll laugh at least 3 times. It's a good read. I've yet to see anybody read it who, like, not wanting to put it down. That's the best compliment you can give, is that I'm not wasting your fucking time. And the new one, coming out in August 1st. Softbone. The first red-pilled cyberpunk fictional story. And it's, like I said, it's the themes here, they write themselves.
vote those up on Amazon and Goodreads, because we need to get Ryan on one of these. I want to see that book
on like Book Talk
suggested books, because I see nothing but chicks. There's nothing. Like, apparently the only people who write fiction or write anything these days are females on Amazon and on Goodreads. Thanks, Jake Duke. There, that's your answer. Powerhouse Jim. Oh my God, it's Swole Tomasi. Yes, you would, because I put the video for
yeah.
My love language is celibacy. Wow. You're very loved then. I meant respect as in not calling names or yelling.
Oh yeah, so that's not even respect. That's just
like any common courtesy. People in Subway, I tend not to call names or yell at either. Do I respect them? Not necessarily. Not out of hand, anyways. Off topic. Do you think tradcons hate red pill truth because they do not want to admit that they are wrong? Well, yeah. Well, the other thing is, like, tradcons have embraced parts of quote unquote red pill truth, the parts that align with their ideology, and so they'll say that they're not wrong about that. It's like when Andrew Tate was super popular and everybody wanted to ride his dick because he was like, the new hotness. And the
church didn't mind that, did they?
No, they didn't mind that whatsoever, because they just thought he was about like, oh yeah, have your shit together and make money and whatever else. And then they didn't realize
women and steal money and whatever.
African girls, they weren't talking about that because they didn't know any better. And now you don't hear them talk about it. In fact, hell, did you see that? Maybe you did. In that whole debate between Adam Sosnick and PBD, like Adam called him out on Andrew Tate, and Andrew's like, well, I have respect for Andrew, blah blah blah, but he says he doesn't want to be a family guy, and that's his thing. And like, well, then why do you have a problem with Adam Sosnick? I respect his lifestyle. Well, why don't you respect Adam? He's been around a whole lot longer than Andrew Tate has.
That's when he does this trick. Just run out the clock. Use enough words. The other guy just gives up. Like, fuck, whatever.
Filibuster.
Yeah.
And then the other part is this. I'm like, yeah, well, he didn't want to be a family guy until he did want to be a family guy. And that was right after he got arrested. And now suddenly all these kids that he kept secret for ages and ages, now suddenly they're showing video of him throwing them up in the pool and having fun and picking flowers and punching bags with his son and all this. Now suddenly he's a family man. And I was like, Jesus Christ, my shit.
They are his kids, right? He didn't hire these kids for the photo ops, at least.
They're his kids. And the same thing with Tristan.
I know that wasn't a real jet. I know that's just a stage that he sits on. I'm just wondering if they're child actors. They're like midgets.
For the amount of shit that, like, both of the Tates, Tristan and Andrew, gave me and you for Rollo Tomasi don't got no hose, man.
Man, Rollo Tomasi don't get no hose, man.
Where's your receipts? Now suddenly receipts are kids, and suddenly receipts are wives, and suddenly receipts are living 30 years with a chick, right? Now suddenly that makes you a high value guy, right? Well, before it wasn't. It was more living like Dan Bilzerian. How come? Where the fuck did that go?
And he made fun of my Tekken. I'll have you know, I'm Tekken God Prime.
Star Wars.
I don't need that shit.
Hell, yeah. I've never watched Star Wars in my life.
Yeah. He watched Star Wars. I don't fuck off. I didn't watch it. Shut up.
Who uses
it's like word? That guy. That's like when you mention a porn star and something on Twitter, and there's always the one guy's like, I don't know who that is. It's like, shut up.
Bro.
You know exactly who that is. Don't play this game, you idiot.
You got her open another window right now.
Yeah. Who is that? You know.
Yeah. Do I think it's because they are? Yeah, partially for sure, but also because in doing so, it like in admitting anything, like they're like, we might have a point. They also have to acknowledge their own grift in it. Like Michael Knowles is never going to say he was wrong about Nolafit. He's never going to say he was wrong about any of this shit. That's why he's interviewing Tommy Lahren, right? He's giving Tommy a second chance.
Man, his paycheck requires him to. And that's the worst part. It's not even a moral. Like, his morality is like, what's the best for views? What's the best for the bottom line? It's not morality. He's AI. He's AI worst built.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm diagnosed with ADHD, and according to these modern psychology terms, I fall under neurodivergent, spectrum, but I never use that term to describe myself. Am I autistic as well? Honest question. I think clinically you are, because I know autism is on a spectrum. That's why they call it autism spectrum disorder, right? And I know ADHD is one marker on that spectrum. Neurodivergent just means you're not a normie. And who really is? I think neurodivergent is something that is a buzz term that was developed so people could feel special about themselves.
Well, the whole framing of it, yeah. Because like, here's the thing: you're asking about it as an identity. Who am I? I am autistic. Don't do that. Because what you're going to do now is you're going to have an image in your head of what autistic people are. And then you're going to be more likely to do those things because that's autistic. And if there's something you can do that's not autistic, but fights against that identity, you're going to not do it. Because identity is now your identity marker. You don't want that shit. That's what feminists do and the SJWs and shit. Disorders are not diseases. There's no blood test. There's no mammogram for it. Nothing. You know what it is? A bunch of people went out and surveyed or tested 100 people, for example, on some metric. In this case, I don't know what the metric they would have used for autism, but I haven't checked into it. The ability to paint Warhammer figures without losing interest. And they draw everybody who does it on a bell curve. And then they take the third standard deviation, they draw a line right there, and they say, this is a disorder, because now those guys could be applicable for some medical payout. It's like this weird thing, because psychologists need...
Oddly specific.
Well, yeah, it is. Because, yeah. But that's the thing, because remember, these guys were like Carl Jung and those guys. They were just some coke heads that made up their own little things. It's like Sigma males of the 1800s. But they're like, holy shit, a lot of people are into this. We need to make this a real science, like doctors and stuff. And so all of this stuff kind of got post hoc transformed into a real science, but it's fairly arbitrary. Now, I'm not saying there's no issues, problems to deal with.
Arbitrary,
Yeah, but if you try to make it an identity marker, you're essentially just ruining your life. Don't do that.
Yeah, I love it when people give me grief about like, how come you don't like Carl Jung? I'm like, because he was like relevant in like right up until what, the early 60s, late 50s.
He was the DatePsych of the Napoleonic age. Literally, he was doing coke and made this stuff up to appeal to soccer moms who loved MBTI and shit.
Look how many of his female patients he turned into psychologists. On the way. Look how many chicks he nailed that were his patients, because, well, he had to hammer home his meaning for the guy was a sex pest, essentially, in modern terms. But like, everybody wants to give him so much, like, if you look at like Gadsod has various videos about why he's not a fan of Carl Jung, and they pretty much coincide with everything I've ever said. But the thing is like Carl Jung, who was a student of Freud, Maslow, B.F. Skinner, who's behaviorist. That's where I started, right? All of those guys contributed to the knowledge of psychology, but nobody's using them as the most current, most relevant form of psychology right now. And the same thing with Dr. Bust. But Dr. Bust is a big deal right now. But you know what? 10 years from now, he'll be gone, and somebody else will be standing on his shoulders, and we'll be looking at that guy and listening to what that dude has to say. Or maybe it's going to be, we've already plotted the human genome. Sam Bada and Rugby sent me this article about how AI is going to plot the human brain. We've already plotted the human genome. We're going to plot the human brain with AI and be able to tell you what your personality is going to be like, what your psychology is going to be like, if you're going to have you're going to be neurodivergent. Right?
Yeah. Thanks, Gattaca.
I
don't think people know the history of this stuff. That's the issue. The other one, so psychology and marriage counseling are the two that I love to bring up, because marriage counseling, people don't know. Everybody loves Gottman School and shit like that until you bring up, hey, you remember Mark Popenoe? Who's that? He's the father of marriage counseling. And like, really? And then they go look it up. It's like, oh, he was a eugenicist. He was a big fan of the Germans. And then in the 40s, they had to pivot because like it wasn't popular anymore for some reason.
Yeah.
He's like, well, we still have the marriage counseling. They called it social eugenics. So yeah, you're basically doing some Austrian painter shit when you go to the Gottman School. But nobody knows that until you bring it up. And they don't believe you. Then you show them. It's even the Wikipedia article. They're not even trying to hide it.
So I don't know if you read this. This was on Substack, but it was a really great article. And I want to say it was by this chick, Frey. I don't know if you follow Frey.
I do not.
But she had this article about like, why is it that, well, particularly this generation, but also the millennials, are defined, their personalities are defined by their psychological disorders. Like you're this or you're that or you're in therapy. Why is therapy sexy, right? Well, it's because or healing.
Identity, man.
It's their identity. Whatever their particular personality disorder or their psychosis is or their neurosis, that is what forms their identity. And if you try to take that away from them or you heal them of that particular disorder, they lose that part of their identity and they no longer feel special about themselves because they have unresolved mommy issues or they are constantly, I hate this, I'm healing from this. I need to heal from this. Heal. I'm like, I asked this question of the girls on Access Vegas a couple times and nobody can give me a good answer because there is no answer. When do you become healed? When are you done? When is it over? When are you healed? When do you get to move on? When do you have closure? When do you have this? No, it's always this process. And the reason for that is
lifelong process.
You can't take that away from them because healing is part of their identity. The reason why they say would never go out with a guy who isn't in therapy because therapy is sexy. Why? Because that they think that if they're in therapy and that's part of their identity, they want to find a guy that's doing something similar so they have something to relate to because that therapy is also his identity. And so whatever their personality disorder is, whatever their psychosis, whatever their neurosis happens to be, and there's a lot of them, all they have to do is say, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this with a little bit of this and sprinkle some of this neurosis on top of that. And then you have my identity and you take any of that away from them or you heal them of that or you cure them.
You're robbing of their identity.
And you rob them of their identity. And I didn't realize what I was doing at the time, but I put on Twitter after I read that, I go, women are a collection or an aggregate of all of their collected neuroses. Mm-hmm. That's their identity. Their identity is their neuroses. That's why therapy is a big deal. And that's why
secular religion, man. Well, I mean, it's not secular religion, but if it was, would it look any different?
It's definitely a religion for sure. Yeah. They would rather focus on their neuroses than on God or on any other religious, even if you're like religion, you're spiritual but not religious, it meets all the criteria for it. And I put that on there. Oh man, women got pissed when I put that out there. I go, you're not who you are. And it's like, in the article it was saying, at what point do we just take everything with a grain of salt and say, you know what? That was pretty fucked up situation. It's unresolved trauma or whatever. It's like, when is it resolved? When do you get to move on? When do you get to be fucking happy? And I go, well, never, because that's how you're sold SSRIs. That's why we've sold women on this idea that they are entitled to this blissful nirvanic, state of unending joy and happiness and contentment. And it's just, that's not the human
affirmation of who you are.
Yeah, that's not the key. And so instead, we're going to sell you the chemical cure to that. And so you don't have to feel anything. And here's your Zoloft and here's your whatever, your antidepressant. You want to know why women's like antidepressant goes through the roof, especially in like Western countries? That's because we've sold them on this idea that they're entitled to be happy all the time. And when they're not, doctor, give me something for this. I don't know what to do with myself.
And it's a feedback loop too. Yep. The pills make you feel happy, but they kill your sex drive. Killing the sex drive kills your ability to bond with a man. I'm not saying pair bond. I'm saying just normal bond. And now you have no man, so you're depressed, so you take more pills. And now it's a vicious cycle and it's a separation.
And then you take it out on the guy because he can't deliver the happiness that you're entitled.
Oh, yeah, it must be his fault. It's not my fault.
I'm going to divorce him. It's not your fault. It's the Zoloft talking,
Yeah.
That's stupid. And but we've normalized this to the point where it's like we can't even, like when you were just saying, like when you got married, right? Or my folks. I asked my dad this one time because my mom and my dad seemed like the most unlikely couple to ever get together, right? I asked my dad this one when I was an adult. I asked him this. I said, you and mom are like really different. Like, what the fuck possessed you to ever marry mom? And he goes, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah.
and they went with it because that's just what you did, right? I mean, that was the whole thing. And
I used to say that for big decisions. That's so funny.
I
must have known what I was doing when I said yes.
my dad didn't go, oh, are we like neurologically get compatible on this 8-point, 10-point, checklist or anything like that. It seemed like a good idea at the time,
Just stubborn.
when people ask me, well, how did you vet for Mrs. Tomasi? I say I vetted myself. And the only vetting I needed to do was, can I be faithful to this
Well,
chick?
did she hold your drink while you did your set?
Yes, she did, actually. And
what do you need? That's it. That's your only litmus test.
She put me in the driver's seat. Literally put me in the driver's seat of her car. You're driving the car. That was the allegory for our relationship. She expected me to drive the vehicle and not to get us killed, but also to take us to different places. And that's been the way it's been since day one. Right? And people go, well, things were different when you were getting married, Rollo. I'm like, yeah, they were, but people are still people. I didn't see my wife and go, I wonder if she'd be a good mother for my child. I just wanted to tap that ass.
Take a little pencil crayon drawing and figure it out with some sketches. A little home math shade there, whatever. Crayon boy.
Like the whole thing when and the reason why I relate this, I have actually sent this article to Coral Osborne. I was telling you before. I sent her this article and I said, what do you think of this article? She said, this is spot on. And I go, yeah. And then I read her article about like how she has to be like, I've got to be in this erotic cosmic energy transference, coalescing together and synergistically binding with another human being, the human soul and karmic ecstasy and shit like that before I spread my legs and fuck this guy. I'm like, no, you're just making up a reason why you don't want to have sex with this guy, and he's a sex pest, and he's trying to love bomb you by using your same therapy speak language. I said the best sex I've ever had is when we never said a word to each other. There's no
But you didn't just babble some esoteric shit to your wife and
no, it wasn't. Oh, why I can't have sex? Why I can't have sex with you? Why? Well, because those pillows on the couch didn't come from Bed Bath & Beyond. Right, they're not hypoallergenic. Venus isn't aligned with Pluto, and the barometric pressure in the room is not ideal. So I guess we're going to have to skip it tonight. That was never a thing. There was never any. It's just like, are you DTF? Are we hot together? Yes. Do you want me like I want you? Fuck yes. Let's go. And it's like, why do you make it rocket science? Why do you make it brain surgery? It's not.
The no's are not no. They're not now. Sometimes. She was a nurse or something, wasn't she? Or
X-ray tech.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so probably long hours. I'm sure there was 1 or 2 days. It's like, can I get some sleep first? It's like, fine, I'll wait 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know. What is it about like medical professionals? I don't understand.
Oh, my sister's a nurse and my mom was a nurse. They're fun.
Somebody saw this meme that says like nurses are like the one profession that's most likely to cheat. And I'm like, yeah,
military, but it's number 2.
Can confirm.
Yeah.
Yes. Off topic. What are your thoughts on women passing away from BBLS surgery complications? Insecurity or foolishness?
I don't mean to laugh, but
I know we're supposed to laugh. That's what we're supposed to say right now. Yeah. Oh, you wanted your butt to look bigger and you died from it. You deserve it. You had it coming. That's what we're supposed to say.
Oh boy. It's funny.
I don't know because I don't generally like big butts on chicks. So there you go.
I put it up there with those Instagram influencers that are like leaning off the balcony to take that perfect shot, or leaning off the cliffs of Moore in Ireland and then fall to their death. It's very sad. Yes. Or the one where the one influencer was taking a picture and the influencer across the way was doing it and fell. So the first influencer videotaped the second one falling to their death. I was like, holy fuck, this is awesome. Yeah. 4chan's going to love this.
Insecurity or foolishness? Let me say this for the record. Both can be true at the same time.
Cheapness, man. You get what you pay for. I guarantee you they went to some shoddy back alley, Kowloon walled city butt lift. They put like cement in there or something.
Remember in The Simpsons where like the guy is like has the back alley dentistry and like out of the truck kind of thing.
You want Homer's chiropractic bucket? This is what you get.
Yep. Oh boy. Siege D. Also, I'm not a mod on the Rational Male channel. I'll make you. Oh, you are for Sartain. That's right. Which we're.
Oh, I didn't know he was part of your group. He's in my group. Interesting.
Yes, he is. Everyone loves to ignore the connection between Third Reich and feminism. Is there a connection?
Papa no. Well, it's more so the at the time it was the 1800s, so all this stuff kind of
Marxism for sure.
Yeah, everything kind of has a little bit of everything else in it, and they all kind of spawned out of that whole steam engine industrial revolution thing. We didn't have to become farmers, and so we became crazy.
Why can't feminism just be feminism? Like, why can't we just like rewind the tape all the way back to
when they were bombing churches because they wanted to vote back in the good old days when women were women?
Plotting assassination attempts of elected officials.
Back when they were changing the Constitution because they were tired of watching men happily drink.
I keep telling people, like, you know, when people give me grief about this, but I'm like, there were no waves of feminism. Well, it was first wave feminism. Oh, the good feminism. Yeah.
In the sense that there's like waves of troops.
No, there's
first volley fire, second volley fire. That's about as close as it gets.
I'll give you that. But like, there is no waves of feminism. It's always been the same ideology since Seneca Falls, 1848, 49. And then, you know, the suffragettes got their right to vote in 1920, courtesy of one blue-pilled senator kid who was 22 years old at the time, because mommy sent him a note that said he should go and do it. Don't believe me? Wait till August 18th this year when they're celebrating women's right to vote, because that's when it happened, August 18th, 1920. And it was because of a senator from Tennessee, and I forget the kid's name, but he was like a very young senator, and his mom told him to vote for women's votes, right? And he was
and he loved his mama. I remember that.
He was a blue pill chump, and that's you want to know why you have, and the rest is history. Now it would have happened later on, but
it would have. But that was the thing. It was like what 20 years before black people got the vote, and I think it was just 10 years after non-landowners got the vote. So it was everybody got it in the same generation. Women just went to the front of the line because they bitched and burned some churches down.
Yeah, well, and that you want to look at a movement that was more racist than the rest of them. That was the early suffragettes. Anyway. What was it? Sadie something or other? I can't remember the chicks, the girls.
Sadie sounds familiar. I think if what you're talking about, I think that's her.
Yeah, but she was like one of the
Planned Parenthood chick, right?
No. Sadie something from it was back. She was the one who organized the Seneca Falls event, the conference, which is where everybody. That was basically they look at the Seneca Falls conference in 49, as the beginning of the suffragette / feminist movement. So that's where I usually go back. Maybe there was something before that, but. Then it migrated over to the UK, and it's in the United States and the UK as well, and then of course it culminates in 1920 when women get the right to vote, and then we got second wave feminism, third wave feminism. There's no waves, man. The only reason why you even like want to make those distinctions is because you want to think that the suffragettes were good people. They weren't. They were considered terrorists at the time, and it's the same ideology as it was then as it is today. And it's the sooner you get that, wrap your head around that, the better. And also
simple thing. Yeah. Like abortion was meant as a eugenics program to get rid of undesirables.
Google, when was the Communist Manifesto published? 1848. Yeah. Same time. But I hate it when people like say, "Oh, it was the Rockefellers or was the?" I'm like, no, they just jumped on a trend. They saw it coming, and they could advance their interests by riding feminism. It's the same thing as at pop culture, like corporate interests do the exact same thing. Culture is something that can't. Well, it used to be something that can't be controlled, and so like when we had like the sexual revolution, that's when you got the Age of Aquarius, and you got, you know, have a Coke and a smile, and you know, I'd like to buy the world of Coke.
Well, it's like, even what politics is now. It's men versus women. It's not political ideologies.
Exactly. So when
it's almost biological at this point.
Oh, it was the Rockefellers. Oh, it was the Jews. Oh, it was the Nazis. Oh, it was the Marxists. Oh, it was the Bolsheviks. Oh, it was no. They just jumped on the movement that was already there. It was just a vehicle for them to advance their own interests. That's all it was. And
plus, I have like weekly Hamas protests outside my place. So if the small-hatted people really had that much control, they'd have shut that shit down. So don't give me that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the thing is everybody wants to add their pet, you know, the whole thing. And it's like, it wouldn't exist if men and women didn't want to fuck. That's what it is. It's like, it's just basic human nature. David Lee Roth, everybody wants some. That's all it comes down to. And I don't care whatever. Oh, David Lee Roth, the Jew?
Wait, was he? I thought he was just a gigolo. Interesting.
No, he was. Yeah.
A Jewish guy in the entertainment industry. What's the world coming to, man?
Imagine that. Oh, here we go. I stopped therapy and meds because I felt like a little bitch after every session, and the pills made me feel like a zombie. I just stuck to the gym and occasional joint. Thanks for joining.
Just be careful with the THC.
Yeah. I drop the joint and start doing TRT and or Masterone, because that's what Space Marines take, because they're masters.
And you're not wrong about the SSRIs. Like, first off, it kills your sex drive. Secondly, what you're talking about, the zombie, it's called a fog, and it's a common part of it. And that's the problem, is it doesn't level you out. It just mutes your ability to respond to the outside world, and it's not healthy. And then they should be telling you this. It's never meant as like a treatment. It was supposed to be used as a temporary, like, just get the ball rolling, because then you're supposed to replace it with diet and exercise and healthy social things, and then wean yourself off of it. But they never seem to get to that part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you notice that jerk off with SSRIs. Try that, and you'll see why you'd want to get off of them.
Yeah. All right, let's kill the stream. We're at like 3 hours and 15 minutes.
You guys got enough yet? Go home.
I gotta go eat. Anyways, thanks for joining me, my friend. It's good to see you.
Having me. It's been too long.
I know. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go get Ryan in. Because we're a group of two now.
God damn it!
It's
like the Beatles, and we're both Harrison.
Okay, you want to plug your soft bone?
Oh, dude, yes, guys. I put the link in here. It's just ryanstone.com/softbone. Look, I get it. I don't read either, but I found out that it's not because I have ADHD or any of that other shit, or because, men don't read because that's woman work. It's just people write like shit. Writing it bores you. They bloat it. The AI stuff in there now. Everybody is creating shit. And it turns out if you just write something that's good and compelling and professionally written, people will read it and people will enjoy it. The Dog Walker. I have been seeing this. Guys are like, I haven't read fiction since the Hardy Boys, and they're getting into it. And it's simple. It's just a promise keeper who's learning to overcome his deficiencies. It's funny. It's got, sex. It's the same stuff you would see people like chicks crewing over on Amazon, but if it's written well, it's not stupid. It's better than Colleen Hoover. And then for some guys, they're like, yeah, I just don't like contemporary. I'm like, science fiction, cyberpunk. And the best part about this one, Rollo, is I just took what we have now and added 10% to it. So I took like American political protest, Canadian law, British enforcement, put it all together. And oh my God, this is like worst dystopia ever. 3 things came true while I was writing it. So I didn't even think far enough ahead. Like at one point I had Google's AI causing like a meltdown thing, and it actually happened. I was like, fuck, I got to rewrite this now. But it's good and it's fun. And the best part is it doesn't waste your time. From the first page, just get the sample if you don't believe me. You'll read the first page, you'll be engaged with it, you'll find out what better writing is supposed to be. Huge shout out to Nick August, by the way. Without his guidance, I would have definitely been way less Hemingway and way more Colleen Hoover. So good on him. Yes. He's good. If you're writing a book yourself, he's a great editor to get. He's well read, and that's the best. But yeah, both of them. It's worth. And look, you can join the War Room of Masculine Excellence and run your Forex courses for $50 a month, or just pay $20, get a paperback, sit back, enjoy the next 8 hours, and you don't lose all your money to a Romanian scam. The choice is yours. And that's it for me.
Yeah. All right, let me grab these real quick. And yes, I'll get to the Rumble ones. Hey, Rollo and Ryan. Is it pronounced Ryan?
Yes.
Going to the water park this weekend was like going to the airport. And no, Ryan, there was no poo. No poo.
I tried my best not to be racist this whole stream, Rollo. I tried my best.
I told you I'm gonna get. Don't worry, I got you, bro. Here, I'll have to read it though because I can't put it on the screen. Cultural Americano. Today is a great day to read Religion from the Rational Male series. Like I am. The narrator on Audible for that one is great. Yeah, that was Trey. I'm thinking about using Trey again. It's either that or I might use Aaron Clary's guy. I like his style too. Culture Americano also says simping for unreciprocal family members is still simping just the same. Yeah, I think he's mentioning this because on the last show I brought this up as like men will always like, I hate the word simping. I'm done with the word simping because everyone's a simp. Because if you're because men, the nature of like the nature of the arrangement between men and women, like what was it? Tristan Tate said that simping is the unequal exchange of value, right? An unequal exchange of value, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, if that's the case, then men will always simp for women because there's no possible way that women
We're
will
hardwired for it.
No, we're hardwired for it. And then on top of that, there can never be any equal reciprocation between men and women when it comes to value, unless the pussy is really, really fucking good. You're always going to be in a state of simping. Are you going to be a state of simping for your family? Are you going to be a state of simping for your employer? Like, we need a different word. And I think it was useful if you want to sell courses, but now it's just like it's played out. And I think we need to.
It's like cuck. It's just everybody's a cuck now, and nobody's a cuck.
Cuck, Sigma. And then lastly, I had a guy. I'm sorry I missed it, but I had a guy ask me about the Zoom calls. Our monthly Zoom calls are on Patreon. So you go to my Patreon, and by the way, the link to it is in the description there. It's the $200 tier level. You get 2 hours once a month with the other guys. That's one way to do it. I do weekly Zoom calls on Reignite. So if you're part of Reignite, even at the lowest level, you get a once a week, every Wednesday for about, well, I go longer, but usually we're scheduled for an hour, but I usually go like an hour and a half. So if you want to have some sort of connection with me, if you want to ask me questions or something, look into the Patreon or maybe join Reignite. Those are the two best places to go. I'm not really active on the Next anymore for obvious reasons. Yes, I'm fine. Thank you very much. I do have a fistula. I have some medical issues that I'm trying to sort of work out. I wanted to make that announcement because I don't want people to be surprised if I end up in the hospital and I'm texting from the hospital for some reason. It's not life-threatening yet. I haven't gone septic. I just have to go and get some diagnostic stuff worked before they decide whether they're going to do it with surgery or they're just going to do it with medication. So we'll see how it works out. Yes, I thank you, Sammy, for putting up the Reignite link there. Again, Reignite, the next event we have is going to be Swim Week in Las Vegas, and that will be coinciding with one of the biggest Babes in Toyland events. That's going to be on August 14th. We're starting really August 12th. We're going to have an ATV event, like riding quads and stuff like that in the desert. Then we're also going to be shooting guns, and then America. And then we're also going to be playing Top Golf and whatever other activities I can think of between now and then. But it's also very educational. We will have some talks. We'll have some Q&As. Yes, we will have the girls there to help you evaluate your game and evaluate your conversational abilities and stuff like that. That's a very popular thing. I'm also doing a special I'm doing a side event. It's still part, you don't have to pay for it or anything. It's a side event on how to use certain applications like Body App and Face App to sort of doctor your picture for Instagram. A lot of people were asking me about how to do that, and then how to curate your pictures for maximum effect on Instagram. We'll be doing just sort of a side thing. It's part of the package, so you don't have to pay. It comes with your $9.97, I think it is. Again, you don't have to be a member of Reignite to come. You can still pay the price, but if you're already a member, you can come. And then do look into Reignite and see if that's something for you. We are the Unfuck Your Life group, right? We are the guy. We cater to guys who are sort of rebuilding themselves. So, I see my dogs. That means it's time to go. Ryan, thanks for being a part of this today. And
Dude, I always got time for you. You know,
gotta do it again. I know. I should have worn my Hawaiian shirt. Damn it. But anyways,
I'll buy you one for your anniversary.
Yeah. I have a Van Halen one and I have a Slayer one. I never get to wear the Slayer.
I have a Miller Lite one just for the masculinity.
Ooh, you do belong. One of us. Yeah.
Just the wrong side of the loyalty list. That was all.
Yes, that is. All right, man. I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Would you do it again? I need to feel you on top of me. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. It was my first time, but I was just a kid when we met and went to bed. It was my first time. What you expect from me? I'm breaking up the rules now in the game. I've got something to do. Since the same time came by and went over like a matchbox stereo. Time to get my thoughts now, let it go. Bound to keep me up all night. Emotional damage. But maybe we can fuck again. And maybe things are different. Try to tell baby one more again. Won't you put it on me one more again? I need to know if maybe we can fuck again. Then maybe things are different. Try to tell baby one more again. That's in my life. Now we're fucking in the bathroom, tearing up everywhere while I got your hair. Why you screaming my name?
That's nasty. It is nasty, right? Isn't it nasty? Oh.
She was swinging in the bedroom, whole time stopping and stubbing with her head like she's calling you Kelly.
Well, I'm a whore.
Want me? Ride me up and down like a pony. Turning up my song, getting messy. Working up and down on your body. Want me? Ride me up and down like a pony. Turning up my song on your body. Baby, we can down to it all night. But maybe we can fuck again. And maybe things are different. Try to, baby, one more again. Want to put it on me one more again. I need to know if maybe we can fuck again. Then maybe things are different. Try to, baby, one more again.
Preceding podcast has been a production of The Irrational Male. All rights reserved. Registered trademark 2025. Don't steal Ryan stuff.
I feel like I just took a bath in battery acid.
Tell these bitches to go to hell.
Maybe we can fuck again. And maybe things are different. I'll tell you, baby, one more again. Won't you put it on me one more again? I need to know. And maybe we can fuck again. And maybe things are different. I'll tell you, baby, one more again. That's in my life.
Man, Rollo Tomassi don't get no hoes, man.
We say to give a woman vote is like to let a monkey fly a plane. Very dangerous.